with technology, especially now that we are in the 21st century.
Different backgrounds, one premier education.
Here, there are no borders.
This is our school.
This is our home.
Beyond borders, beyond barriers, from Bicolana dreams to international horizons. NCF is where everyone belongs.
At LDR Events Solution, we don't just organize events, we create experiences that inspire, connect, and deliver results. With years of proven expertise in managing ICT and green sustainability events both locally and internationally, we bring innovation, precision, and heart into every project we handle. From national summits to corporate conferences, from intimate gatherings to large-scale conventions, our dedicated team ensures your event runs flawlessly from planning to execution to unforgettable impact. Why choose LDR Events Solution? Because we go beyond logistics. We deliver innovation, professionalism, and the kind of experiences your audience will always remember. LDR Events Solution, your event, our innovation.
At Yakamu, we believe that before anyone explores opportunities in agriculture, they should first understand it. That's why we're sharing the knowledge we've gained from International Digital Agriculture Training through EDX, a program that normally costs around $500. To help communities learn modern farming, technology, and sustainable growing practices. But we don't stop at education. Every participant receives an actual seedling to nurture and grow. This allows them to learn by doing, not just by listening. They experience the process firsthand, understand what it takes to grow a valuable crop, and become active participants in agriculture. At the same time, every seedling planted helps support farmers and beneficiary communities through education, livelihood opportunities, and long-term sustainability. We want people to start small, build knowledge, gain confidence, and discover the potential of agriculture, agroforestry, and aquaculture. As they continue their journey, they gain real-world experience and a deeper understanding of how food, forests, and farming create value for communities. At Yakamu, our mission is simple: learn, understand, participate, grow. Ready to learn and plant your first tree? Join Yakamu today and be part of a movement that grows knowledge, supports farmers, and helps communities thrive.
It's more important than ever for businesses to have razor-sharp customer focus, especially in a time where change is apparent in customer expectations and increased market competition. You need to work towards building a complete 360-degree customer view. In doing so, you deliver a unified cross-channel of customer engagement. Radenta Technologies Incorporated raises the bar for business. We help build a customer-focused culture by breaking down barriers to help you in your digital transformation. Transform with Radenta today.
Invest in your dreams. We'll handle the innovation-powered excellence.
This is how we lead the future.
A strong connection means more than just staying online. It's a source of hope that can bring people together, open up endless possibilities, and even change lives. That's why we're dedicated to keeping that connection alive. From fortifying intimate bonds no matter the distance, to building and securing your future. You'll never have to worry about lagging behind. Feel limitless and unstoppable with vast networks and reliable solutions tailored to your business needs. The complete support system you need that makes work and life a breeze. All backed by a trustworthy partner. You can experience the Eastern Touch, where we give your digital concerns personal solutions. We listen, we respond, and we show up with heart. Always committed to serve you with utmost care and attention. Leave it all to us and save your energy instead. Not just to keep up, but to reach further, dream bolder, and become all that you are meant to be. Real progress starts with going the extra mile, so you can dare to dream, dare to do more, and dare to achieve greatness. Dare to soar with Eastern Communications.
Nak, kaya pa?
Okay po. Nak, may pamerienda tayo dun ha. Mahusay, anak.
Sir! Sir!
Nak, ikaw munang bahala dito.
Ako po?
Yung investors, close the deal. I trust you.
When the moment demands it, the only path forward is to choose courage.
Sir, this is too inefficient. I'm sure there's a better way.
Not just to face what's in front of you, but to transform.
Hi sir, nice to meet you. Anna from Glow Business.
It's the decision to grow, to push beyond limits, and to reshape your own potential. It's choosing not just to endure, but to turn challenges into progress. Doubt into determination, and fear into fuel.
Nak?
Kamusta?
Pa, you're supposed to be resting.
Something wrong at the plant?
Kakayanin naman po. I've got a lot of help behind me.
That's good.
Oh, hijo.
Sir,
Congratulations.
thank you so much, sir.
Your digital transformation will set us up for years to come.
When the moment arrives, choose to rise above. Choose the courage to transform with Globe Business.
At Yakamu, we believe that before anyone explores opportunities in agriculture, they should first understand it. That's why we're sharing the knowledge we've gained from International Digital Agriculture Training through EDX, a program that normally costs around $500. To help communities learn modern farming, technology, and sustainable growing practices. But we don't stop at education. Every participant receives an actual seedling to nurture and grow. This allows them to learn by doing, not just by listening. They experience the process firsthand, understand what it takes to grow a valuable crop, and become active participants in agriculture. At the same time, every seedling planted helps support farmers and beneficiary communities through education, livelihood opportunities, and long-term sustainability.
We want people to start small, build knowledge, gain confidence, and discover the potential of agriculture, agroforestry, and aquaculture.
As they continue their journey, they gain real-world experience and a deeper understanding of how food, forests, and farming create value for communities. At Yakamu, our mission is simple: learn, understand, participate, grow. Ready to learn and plant your first tree? Join Yakamu today and be part of a movement that grows knowledge, supports farmers, and helps communities thrive.
Technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational.
So let's dive in as we are going to experience the Galaxy Tab S9. So if you are ready, please raise your S Pen.
For me, it is the Galaxy AI. It's very efficient and it's easy to use. Especially, it will make the work of the teacher easier.
The interpreter, you can translate other information from any other languages to Filipino and to English. And that is a very good aspect of Samsung tablet that we can use in our daily teaching practices.
When you give these tablets to the students, you will be able to realize, wow, our students just need the right opportunity and they will show the world how the Filipino learners become outstanding.
For my fellow teachers, I want you to join this kind of training so that we teachers will be equipped with technology, especially now that we are in the 21st century.
Different backgrounds, one premier education.
Here, there are no borders.
This is our school.
This is our home.
Beyond borders, beyond barriers, from Bicolano dreams to international horizons, NCF is where everyone belongs.
At LDR Event Solution, we don't just organize events, we create experiences that inspire, connect, and deliver results. With years of proven expertise in managing ICT and green sustainability events both locally and internationally, we bring innovation, precision, and heart into every project we handle. From national summits to corporate conferences, from intimate gatherings to large-scale conventions, our dedicated team ensures your event runs flawlessly from planning to execution to unforgettable impact. Why choose LDR Event Solution? Because we go beyond logistics. We deliver innovation, professionalism, and the kind of experiences your audience will always remember. LDR Event Solution, your event, our innovation.
At Yakamu, we believe that before anyone explores opportunities in agriculture, they should first understand it. That's why we're sharing the knowledge we've gained from international digital agriculture training through EDX, a program that normally costs around $500. To help communities learn modern farming, technology, and sustainable growing practices. But we don't stop at education. Every participant receives an actual seedling to nurture and grow. This allows them to learn by doing, not just by listening. They experience the process firsthand, understand what it takes to grow a valuable crop, and become active participants in agriculture. At the same time, every seedling planted helps support farmers and beneficiary communities through education, livelihood opportunities, and long-term sustainability.
We want people to start small, build knowledge, gain confidence, and discover the potential of agriculture, agroforestry, and aquaculture.
As they continue their journey, they gain real-world experience and a deeper understanding of how food, forests, and farming create value for communities. At Yakamu, our mission is simple: learn, understand, participate, grow. Ready to learn and plant your first tree? Join Yakamu today and be part of a movement that grows knowledge, supports farmers, and helps communities thrive.
It's more important than ever for businesses to have razor-sharp customer focus, especially in a time where change is apparent in customer expectations and increased market competition. You need to work towards building a complete 360-degree customer view. In doing so, you deliver a unified cross-channel of customer engagement. Radenta Technologies Incorporated raises the bar for business. We help build a customer-focused culture by breaking down barriers to help you in your digital transformation. Transform with Radenta today.
Invest
kundi dahil inikultura sa disiplina kararangan na malinigan ang satong kapalibutan sa pag-apon sa tamang.
Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to request those seated at the back to please occupy the front seats and the middle seats. And at exactly 9 in the morning, we will begin with our program. Thank you very much. Once again, we would like to request those seated at the back to please occupy the front seats and the middle seats, middle row seats. For at exactly 9 o'clock, we will be starting with our program. Thank you very much.
Iyan ang minamauta sa disiplinada sa komunidad. Ang disiplinada, bako sa ng programa. Ini sa tong kultura, ini sa tong panuga. Asin nagpupun ini sa tuya gabos. Ang progreso, bakong dipisil. Kun may disiplinada.
Mahusay, anak. Nak, ikaw munang bahala dito. Yung investors, close the deal. I trust you.
When the moment demands it, the only path forward is to choose courage.
Sir, this is too inefficient. I'm sure there's a better way.
Not just to face what's in front of you, but to transform.
Hi sir, nice to meet you. Anna from Glow Business.
It's the decision to grow, to push beyond limits, and to reshape your own potential. It's choosing not just to endure, but to turn challenges into progress. Doubt into determination.
Everyone may now take their seats. In a minute, we'll begin with our program for day 2 of ClickConEx 2026. Once again, we would like to request everyone to settle down, be seated for at exactly 9 o'clock. We will begin with our program for day 2 of ClickConEx 2026. Thank you very much.
Luzon.
And welcome to day 2 of the 10th Convergence of Luzon ICT Champions and Exhibition, ClickConEx 2026. As we continue our journey of innovation, collaboration, and community building, let us once again embrace the spirit of this year's theme, connecting people, empowering communities, co-creating smart, inclusive, and sustainable cities by 2028. Before we begin today's program, we invite you to experience a vibrant celebration of the rich culture, creativity, and artistic heritage of the Bicol region. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Boom Maya.
Magandang umaga, Naga! Mabuhay! Ako po si Eliza Marie Borja at kami ang Naga College Foundation, sentro ng sining at kultura. Para po sa ikalawang araw natin ng ClickConEx 2026, ay buong lugod naming ihahandog ang dalawang sayaw ritual na nagmula pa sa Ifugao. Ang unang sayaw ay nagpapasalamat sa Panginoon o kabunian. Inihahalin tulad ang sayaw sa maghiliw na paggalaw ng tandang na kalimitan ay sinasayaw ng mga kalalakihan at kababaihan bilang pagbibigay pugay at panalangin sa isang masaganang ani. Ang una ay ang bumaya. At ang ikalawa naman po ay sayaw rin sa Cordillera. Ang sayaw na ito ng bontok ay naglalarawan ng isang seremonya ng digmaan na isinagawa ng mga mandirigma ng magkakatunggaling tribo. Ipinagdiriwang ang idaw na nangangahulugang ibon dahil ito ang tanda ng digmaan. Mula po sa Hilagang Luzon, mga kaibigan, ang mga sayaw na aming itatanghal ay bumaya at idaw.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin with our Day 2 of the 10th Convergence of Luzon ICT Champions and Exhibition, ClickConEx 2026. To help us revisit the highlights, key moments, and meaningful conversations from Day 1, please direct your attention to the screen for our ClickConEx 2026 Day 1 Recap AVP.
Technology exists to help us reach these expectations. It is up to us to transform our systems to build stronger localities and a nation we truly deserve.
Or age should never be a factor in leadership. Very, very happy to be back in Naga.
And I think the most effective leadership, coupled with ethical leadership, that's really what our countrymen need right now.
Again, welcome to Naga City. Maraming salamat po. Diyos mabalos, mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you very much for that inspiring recap. Once again, Diyos marhay na aga po, syudad ni Naga. Good morning, everyone. Of course, we have our distinguished guests, partners, delegates, and members of ClickConEx community. And welcome once again to Day 2 of our 10th Convergence of Luzon ICT Champions and Exhibition, ClickConEx 2026. Isa na naman po itong araw na marami tayong matututunan from our panelists for today. And Indeed, Day 1 demonstrated the power of bringing together government leaders, industry experts, innovators, development partners, and ICT champions in pursuit of a shared vision for smarter, more inclusive, and future-ready communities. As we begin with Day 2, it is only fitting that we hear from a leader representing the very organization that has helped strengthen ICT ecosystems, empower local ICT councils, and champion digital transformation across the country. So without further ado, to deliver the opening remarks, please join me in warmly welcoming the Treasurer of the National ICT Confederation of the Philippines and President of Cavite ICT Council, Ms. Teresita Liabres.
Dito lang ako kasi hindi ako makikita pag nasa rostrum ako. So, good morning, distinguished guests, government leaders, industry partners, members of the academe, fellow ICT champions, delegates, and friends. On behalf of the National ICT Confederation of the Philippines, it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to the 10th Convergence of Luzon ICT Champions and Exhibition, or ClickConEx 2026, Day 2. As we gather here today in Naga City, we celebrate not only a decade of ClickConEx, but also the enduring spirit of collaboration that continues to drive innovation and digital transformation across our communities. This year's theme, Connecting People, Empowering Communities, Co-creating smart, inclusive, and sustainable cities by 2028 reminds us that technology is most powerful when it serves people. Digital transformation is not simply about adopting new technologies. It's about creating opportunities, improving lives, strengthening communities, and ensuring the progress reaches every Filipino. Over the years, ICT councils throughout the country have played a vital role in bringing together government, industry, academe, and civil society to build local innovation ecosystems. Through these partnerships, we have empowered talents, supported entrepreneurs, encouraged innovation, and help communities embrace the opportunities of the digital age. Today, as we face new challenges and opportunities, our commitment to collaboration becomes even more important. The future we envision requires strong partnerships, innovative thinking, and a shared determination to create communities and resilient, inclusive, and prepared for the demands of a rapidly evolving digital world. The National ICT Confederation of the Philippines remains committed to supporting local ICT councils, strengthening innovation ecosystems, and promoting initiatives that advance digital inclusion, workforce development, smart governance, and sustainable economic growth. As we begin this conference on Day 2, I encourage everyone to actively participate in the discussions, engage with fellow delegates, explore new ideas, and build meaningful partnerships. Let us use this opportunity to learn from one another and work together toward solutions that will benefit our communities for years to come. To our speakers, sponsors, partners, exhibitors, and delegates, thank you for your continued support and commitment to the growth of the Philippine ICT industry. May ClickConEx 2026 inspire new ideas, foster stronger collaborations, and empower us to create a smarter, more inclusive, and sustainable future for all. Thank you, and I wish everyone a productive and meaningful conference on Day 2.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Ma'am Teresita Liabres. Thank you very much, ma'am. Ma'am Teresita is very inspiring leader. Just to give you an idea, she has a significant contribution to the Philippine ICT sector. She holds key positions as treasurer for the National ICT Confederation of the Philippines, president of the Cavite ICT Council, and she's also played such an significant role in the government sector as well. So it's very much inspiring to hear from you and to open our day 2 of ClickConEx 2026. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this will not be possible without, of course, this is brought to us by ClickConEx 2026 is brought to us by the National ICT Confederation of the Philippines, of course, headed by the President, Sir Jasraf. Thank you very much, sir. Sir Jasraf stayed yesterday until the evening. Parang grabe po yung energy mo, sir. And of course, to everyone who's part of the National ICT Confederation of the Philippines, let's please give them a round of applause, please. And of course, this is in partnership also. The co-organizers of this event is the City Government of Naga, the ICT Councils of Bicol, and we have our co-presenters, the Department of Information and Communications Technology, the Department of Trade and Industry, Department of the Interior and Local Government, the Naga College Foundation, Phil Centro Technologies. We also would like to thank the platinum sponsors, Microgenesis and Plant Nation Incorporated, the diamond sponsors, Radenta Technologies, Samsung, RPG Consulting, Globe Business, Eastern Communications, gold sponsors, Ixera, CBSAC Enterprises, YFC Bon Eagle International Incorporated, Geo Infometric Solutions Corporated, silver sponsors, PLDT Enterprise and Tranquilo Massage Hut. And our official community partners, we have the Naga Inter-School Computer Enthusiast, DevCon Legazpi, and official media partners, thank you very much to the Philippine Daily Inquirer and Naga City Hall Press Corps, and the official event manager who also made our special audio-visual presentation a while ago. Thank you very much to LDR Event Solutions. Hindi pa po ako nakapagpakilala muli. Ako po muli si Antoinette Eduardo, and it is such an honor for me to be your host for this event. And I am sure we are quite excited now to begin with our track 3. Pwede ko po bang mahingi ang inyong energy? Are you now excited to begin with track 3? Thank you very much for such an inspiring energy. Because of that, as mentioned a while ago, yesterday we had a discussion that reaffirmed the power of bringing together leaders from the government, industry, academe, and civil society to exchange ideas, forge meaningful partnerships, and co-create solutions that will shape the future of our communities. Now, as we move forward to our day 2, we will build upon those insights and strengthen our shared commitment to creating a smarter, more inclusive, and resilient cities. We now begin with our track 3, the smart mobility, public safety, and urban resilience. As cities continue to grow and evolve, marami po tayong challenges na nai-encounter. The need for efficient mobility systems, safer communities, and resilient urban infrastructure becomes more important than ever. This track brings together leaders and experts who are driving innovations and strategies that help communities move smarter, respond better, and prepare for the challenges of the future. So, to guide us through this important discussion, it is my honor to introduce to you our panel moderator. Our panel moderator for track 3 was recently awarded the Outstanding Women in the Nation Service, or TOWNS 2025, for Information Technology and Entrepreneurship. She is the Executive Director of Cadena Foundation, and she is a Board of Trustee of the Blockchain Council of the Philippines. She is also recognized as 100 most influential Filipino women on LinkedIn. She is a staunch advocate for women empowerment. She is the founder of Women in Blockchain Philippines, co-founder or Cyber Heroes, Youth for Cyber Peace, PH, and Lakambini ng Kalayaan. She is also a founding member of the Digital Innovation for Women Advancement and Global Women Who Rule. Gail is a TEDx speaker, and her most favorite title is Mom, To-Dos, Ram, Rain, and Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Track 3 panel moderator, Ms. Gail Macapagal.
Magandang umaga po. Taga Region 5 din po ako, from Libon, Albay. And trivia, I used to be a DJ for 103.5 Naga City before it became MOR. So, yun lang. Charot. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Track 3, Smart Mobility, Public Safety, and Urban Resilience. As our cities continue to grow, the challenge is no longer simply moving people from one place to another. The challenge is creating communities that are safe, connected, resilient, and prepared for the future. Today, we bring together leaders from local government, national government, industry, and technology sectors to share insights and practical solutions on how we can build smarter mobility systems, strengthen public safety, and enhance urban resilience through innovation and collaboration. But before I begin, I want to play a video that is connected to what Senator Bam has been talking about yesterday. It's the Cadena Act and what the Cadena Foundation is doing. It's only 4 minutes, very quick, so pwedeng paki-start na kasi medyo in the interest of time.
Welcome sa Cadena Portal, a complete, tamper-resistant at transparent trail ng pera ng gobyerno. From budget approval hanggang disbursement, pwede mo nang sundan ang buong proseso in one place. Let's start with the budget cycle. Dati, kalat-kalat ang records. Now, everything is stitched together. Appropriations, SARO release, procurement, contracts, payments, at liquidation. Para sa ordinaryong mamamayan, para itong Google Maps ng public funds. Here on the dashboard, you'll see all the major stages of spending. My timeline, my filters, at my quick view ng agencies and projects. Sa loob lang ng ilang clicks, makikita mo na ang sanga-sanga na projects ng iba't ibang agenda ng gobyerno. Let's go deeper. Kapag nag-publish ang agency, the system immediately generates a cryptographic hash. Kung bago ito sa'yo, isipin mo ang hash na parang digital fingerprint. Hindi mo siya mababago. At kapag may nag-attempt mang-iba ng data, the hash breaks and the system calls it out. At alam ng system who did what. Hindi mo na kailangan maging IT expert para maintindihan. Ang mahalaga, kahit sinong mamamayan, makikita ang laman ng document. Hindi lang ito basta upload ng PDF or annual report ng isang department. Ito dapat ay mga verifiable and traceable data para makita ang connection ng mga government documents sa buong budget cycle. Dapat kaya mo makita ang kabuuang transaksyon ng gobyerno at hindi ka na paghahanapin sa loob ng napakaraming dokumento. Publishing alone is not transparency. Publishing with traceability and verifiable data ang tamang transparency. Tulad nito, you'll see the SARO. When you click, you see its hash, the timestamp, the publisher, and the chain ID. Ito ay tamper-evident and tamper-resistant. And further down, you'll see the linked documents na pinublish ng mga ahensya ng pamahalaan. Integrated with the agency's financial management information system, or FMIS, makikita rin ang mga naging gastos at saan ginastos. Makikita pati anong mga equipment at amounts nito gamit ang AI. Kaya kita ang anumang anomalya sa mga presyo. Now, this is where citizens really benefit. Makikita mo ngayon ang buong ruta ng pera, step by step. Kung magkano ang approved, magkano ang nirelease, sinong bidder ang nanalo, at magkano ang actual na binayad. Dati, malabo itong mga ito. Ngayon, public na. And this is exactly what the Cadena Act guarantees. Ang Cadena Act hindi lang tungkol sa technology. Tungkol ito sa karapatan ng bawat Pilipino na malaman kung saan napupunta ang perang tinabaho nila. This portal fixes that. Kung may anomalya, makikita mo agad. Kung may overpriced contract, obvious gamit ang AI. Kung may ghost project, walang tunay na dokumentong susupot sa chain. Transparency builds trust. And with Cadena, we're giving that power back to the people.
Thank you. Inuulit ko po, libre po ito sa lahat ng LGU na gustong mag-avail. At kung ang LGU nyo po ay hindi pa alam kung ano ang blockchain, imbitahan nyo lang po ako at lilipad ako kung nasan man kayo. Pakibayaran lang po ang pamasahe. Maraming salamat po. So, let us begin our journey by hearing from our distinguished speakers. Ito pong first speaker natin, pasensya ka na Mayor, kahapon pa kita kinukulit. Pero talaga pong nagpapasalamat ako sa inyo dahil talagang for transparency and accountability, number 1 kayo sa puso ko. So our first speaker is a leader whose name has become synonymous with integrity, accountability, public safety, and transformative governance. Throughout his distinguished 4 na beses po ako nakapunta sa command center ng Baguio at bawat sulok ng kalye ng Baguio ay makikita ninyo kung ano ang nangyayari. So kudos to that, Mayor. So as cities across the Philippines confront the challenges of mobility, urbanization, and public safety, his experience offers valuable lessons on how local governments can build systems that are not only efficient and resilient, but truly responsible to the needs of their people. To share the LGU perspective on smart mobility, governance, building a safe, efficient, and people-centered mobility system, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Mayor of Baguio City, my idol, Honorable Benjamin B. Magalong.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Gay. Please take your seats, Paul. Good morning to ladies and gentlemen and to all the ICT practitioners. First of all, I would like to thank the host and the organizers of the 10th ClickConEx for inviting us. It's always a pleasure to be talking to a lot of, especially young people. And my topic today is all about smart mobility systems. We still don't have it in the city of Baguio. We have been working on it for the past 4 years. We're working closely with ST Engineering of Singapore. ST Engineering is actually managing the entire mobility system of Singapore, and they have partnered with MPTC, or Metro Pacific Tollways of Mr. Pangilinan. And I would like to inform you as well that this is now a work in progress in the entire city of Baguio. When people hear about the word mobility, they often think about vehicles, road intersections, and traffic signals. But mobility is actually about people. Today, I will share the city's journey towards building a safe, efficient, and people-centered mobility system as part of our broader vision for a resilient and sustainable city. Baguio was recognized as a resilience hub last March by the UNDRR. In addition to this, we are targeting to become a sustainable hub by 2028. And we envision Baguio to be a city where development balances economic growth with the preservation of its natural and cultural heritage. These aspirations align with the global goals for sustainability while addressing our challenges. This presentation builds on our Quality of Life Index, which Baguio City co-developed with the United Nations Habitat, where we move beyond infrastructure and economic indicators and instead focus on the lived experiences of our people. Baguio is proud to be the first city in the Philippines to adopt this global framework, and this is a foundation for better governance and better decisions. Baguio performs strongly in safety, and we have 98.1% and of our residents go out at night, and 85.6% feel safe. This reflects a strong foundation of trust and security. However, there are clear constraints. Mobility satisfaction is only at 58.9%, and connectivity is only at 53.8%. And probably you're wondering, why in Baguio? At this point, we begin to shift our perspective. Traditionally, cities tend to address mobility, public safety, connectivity, energy, and waste management as separate concerns. But in reality, cities function as an interconnected systems, or we call it ecosystems. This is where the concept of the circular economy becomes important. Through initiatives such as the EU or the European Union Green Economy Program and our partnership with the United Nations Development Program, Baguio has been positioned as a Tier 1 circular economy city. When people hear circular economy, they often think only of waste management. But circularity is much more broader than that. It is about designing systems that are efficient, interconnected, and resilient. In mobility, it means optimizing existing transport systems rather than continuously building more infrastructure. And in public safety, it means moving from reactive response towards prevention and anticipation and being proactive about it. In governance, it means integrating data, services, and decision-making to make sure that our services are efficient and effective as well. For a city like Baguio with limited land and increasing urban pressure, the systems approach is not optional. It is something necessary. It is something imperative. And one of the most important systems we need to transform is mobility. Mobility is one of our most critical challenges in the city of Baguio. We face narrow and constrained roads, increasing tourist demand, fragmented transport routes. The solution is not simply to build more roads. Instead, we shift towards optimization through route rationalization, public transport integration, active mobility, transition to low-emission vehicles. The goal is simple: move more people, not more vehicles. But easily said than done. In the city of Baguio, every time the tourists come in, during weekends, during holidays, ang sabi ng mga taga Baguio, aalis na tayo uli, nandyan na uli yung mga turista. Very frustrating, and every time we hear the residents or irritability among our residents, every time the tourist comes in, someone has to be blamed, and they always blame the mayor. We are currently in the middle of evaluating a PPP proposal, as I mentioned a while ago, for smart urban mobility for the city, aimed at integrating data, transforming public transport, real-time traffic management, improved parking, terminal infrastructure, transport analytics and monitoring, and active mobility. We just would like to inform you that we are probably luckier than other cities and other localities in the entire country. Bakit? Wala po kaming tricycle po sa syudad ng Baguio. And we are not allowing it. Kaya ho, pag may nag-introduce ng tricycle, pinapahuli ho kagad namin doon sa syudad ng Baguio. Isa yan ho sa pinapahirap na i-manage. The vision behind this is simple. We want to build a safe, efficient, and people-centered mobility system. And at present, the proponent will be conducting a proof of concept. We recognize, however, that projects of this scale naturally raise questions and concerns from residents. And that is why the proposed PPP includes a proof of concept phase, which we are now in the beginning stages. This approach reflects the position of the proponent's chief executive officer himself, who has emphasized that the project must be people-centered and not profit-centered. To support this effort, the proponent is partnering with ST Engineering, a Singapore-based technology engineering company with extensive experience in smart mobility. Through this collaboration, the city hopes to draw lessons from international best practices while ensuring that any solution adopted remains responsive to the unique needs of the people of Baguio and considering its realities as well. But before discussing solutions, it is important to understand the problem. A traffic study conducted in March 2024, and what we did was to borrow a system from a European country. And with that, we were able to determine on a daily basis the type of vehicles that actually negotiate our road networks. 3% are actually trucks and buses. 16% are motorcycles. 31% are private cars. The two types of vehicles are unraveling. 8% are PUJs. And for taxis, it's 42%. And looking at that data, immediately you ask yourself, is it right? Tama ba yung ratio? Bakit mas marami yung taxi rather than high-capacity vehicle, which is only at 8%? And so what I did was to ask LTFRB, what was the basis for the issuance of franchise? Sabi ng LTFRB, sir, meron pong study yan. Can I have a copy of the study? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I did a follow-up. Sir, hinahanap pa po namin yung study. On the 4th month, tinanong ko uli yung kanilang executive director. Ang sabi niya sa akin, sir, hindi na po namin makita yung study. In short, walang study. But the question is, what was really the basis? What was really the basis for the issuance of unlimited franchises to taxis? Iisa lang ang naiisip kong sagot. MAP. Masarap ang pera. Tulad ng nangyayari sa Kongreso. Pasensya na kayo, hindi ko matiis. Traffic congestion is not caused solely by vehicles moving slowly. A considerable amount of congestion comes from vehicles searching for parking. Studies indicate that up to 30% of urban traffic can be attributed to motorists looking for parking spaces. And this means more fuel consumption, longer travel times, and increased greenhouse gas emissions. Our traffic management system is also facing limitations. Many intersections still rely on fixed signal timings and manual intervention. And traffic conditions change by the minute, yet our signals cannot always adapt accordingly. Finally, the smart traffic lights are coming probably in the next 4 weeks. Nandito na, we're going to install it. And this will be interconnected or integrated with our smart city command system. Motorist behavior also plays a major role in traffic congestion. And thousands of violations are recorded annually, ranging from illegal parking or disregarding traffic signs and ignoring traffic enforcers. The good news is we have this plate identification system in the city of Baguio. It's AI-driven. Kaya nga, napakadali naming hanapin yung mga taxi pag may nakaiwan na mga luggages. At kung may mga traffic violation o kaya merong hit and run, madali po namin sila matuntun sa syudad ng Baguio. The challenge becomes even clearer when we look at vehicle numbers. As of 2024, Baguio has approximately 58,000 registered vehicles in the city of Baguio. And looking at the number of tourists that are coming up at 2.2 million every year, that would translate to about 298,000 vehicles every year. Or translated into month, that is around 28,000 vehicles every month. On top of the 58,000 registered vehicles in the city of Baguio, hindi pa kasama yung mga registered vehicles coming from the adjacent municipality. Baguio was only designed for 15,000 to 20,000 vehicles. Yan po. Kaya naman, every time na may special event, sabi ng mga turista, ayaw na namin sa Baguio. Napaka-traffic ng Baguio. Punta na lang kami sa Naga. Rather than implementing isolated interventions, the smart urban mobility projects adopts a holistic approach. The different components work together and share information in real time. The first component focuses on public transportation. A key objective is improved reliability. In short, kung ano yung nakikita nyo sa Singapore, lahat ng mga public transport will be geotag and everybody will have its own tracker. So makikita mo, tapos wala na yung naghihintayan sa terminals na kailangan punuin muna bago gagalaw. In short, meron ng oras kung kailan sila gagalaw. Puno man o walang laman, kailangan gumalaw yung vehicle, but they have to follow a certain schedule. And on the basis of that schedule, doon sila makakatanggap ng mga performance bonus nila. Another is itong public parking. By the way, anybody among you who's interested to invest in parking or probably, bid in our parking, we have big 4 parking projects in the city of Baguio. And there's another 3 big parking projects for Camp John A. These are multi-level parking buildings that anytime soon we're going to start the construction. Probably there are systems now that we would like to put in place in those parking systems. Everything will be only one system, covered with one system, so that sa cellphone nyo, pag akit kayo ng Baguio, you can immediately see kung saan yung mga bakante, pwede rin kayong magpa-reserve rather, pero with additional cost. Ganun yung mangyayari ngayon sa syudad ng Baguio. For commuters, information is essential. Passengers will be able to see available routes and estimated arrival times to digital displays and mobile applications. So pag naghihintay ho kayo doon sa aming mga waiting shed, by the way, we're now converting our waiting sheds into digital waiting sheds, modern waiting shed. Para pag naghihintay kayo doon, alam niyo kung ano yung parating doon. PUJ 388, arriving in 11 minutes, 12 seats available. Ganun ho yung mangyayari sa syudad ng Baguio. The system is also designed to benefit operators and drivers. Those who comply with schedules and provide reliable service can be incentivized. The proposed system will provide real-time parking information, allows advanced booking, and support cashless payment options. The third component, which is actually the most controversial, is congestion charging. Diyan na po yung pinakamahirap at very challenging because every private vehicle that enters into our CBT on particular time of the day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, afternoon, late afternoon, they have to pay a certain fee. Yung papasok lang. Yung mga lalabas, wala po. Pero yung mga jeepney, PUJs, libre po yan. For the taxis, it will be 50 pesos. Kung wala ka namang gagawin sa syudad ng Baguio at 7 o'clock, bakit ka papasok? Better to get in the CBD at 9 o'clock, wala ho kayong babayaran. Ganun yun. Just very similar to the other countries, what they're doing in Europe as well. Residents of Baguio and Bliss municipalities will receive free weekly passes, while public utility vehicles and other identified sectors will be exempted. The goal is not to restrict mobility. The goal is to reduce unnecessary trips during the periods when congestion is severe. By shifting even a small percentage of trips away from peak periods, overall traffic conditions will improve quickly and efficiently and significantly. The fourth component is the smart traffic management and enforcement system. Everything will now be managed by artificial intelligence. Incidents can be detected earlier, verified more quickly, and responded to more efficiently. The first time, the city will have a comprehensive real-time picture of traffic conditions, and this will allow traffic managers to move from reactive management to proactive management, in considering the fact that on a daily basis, we will be collecting data, and we'll be able to improve further our system by using all this data. Mobility alone does not create a resilient city. Public safety is another critical pillar. Baguio has one of the highest safety perception ratings in the country, with 85.6% of residents reporting that they feel safe. And through our command center, 911 emergency response team, data-driven policy, policing, and LED lighting initiatives and disaster early warning systems, we are creating an environment where risks can be identified and addressed before they escalate. Ang response time po ng ating kapulisan ngayon is only between 4 minutes to 8 minutes. Response time for any calls for police response. Ganun ho kabilis doon. And I have all this data to present to you because I receive every day the data from our SC3 or Smart Command Center. For emergency response, mga medical cases naman, it will take about, nandun ho kami sa 12 to 18 minutes. You know? Kasi minsan maghihintay pa ho ng mga, minsan nauubos ho yung 11 na ambulance namin in one night. Nauubos ho yung, kaya maghihintay lang. Kaya that's the reason why 12 to 18 minutes on an average. Our underpinning all these systems is digital connectivity. Whether it's smart mobility, emergency response, tourism services, education, we need connectivity. And that's the reason why we now have a huge, ambitious program. About 250 towers are to be built in the city of Baguio. At bawat tower ho, o bawat pole na ho yan, ang itatayo. Ang requirement ho namin sa mga telcos, kailangan lagyan ng camera, kailangan lagyan ng solar light, at kailangan lagyan ng air quality sensor. Bawal ho ang korupsyon sa Baguio, kaya tuwan-tuwa naman po yung mga telco dahil wala na ho silang aabutan, walang under-the-table arrangement. And that is precisely my presentation today. My time is up. I'm now ready to answer your questions. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Bakit wala? Ayun. Thank you, Mayor Magalong, for that inspiring and insightful presentation. So we are opening the floor for your questions. Before you start asking your question, please state your name, your designation, and please make it very concise para po maka-accommodate tayo ng mas maraming questions. Thank you. Mr. Michael Chulim, your question, please.
Sir, it's not a question, but NICP, President Jesraf and I just talked. We would like to take up the challenge to help you build your parking enabled by IT. Sige, sir. Sir Jesraf ang magpapahiram ng budget. Pero we can link with you, sir, if after your presentation.
Yes, okay. Thank you,
sir.
Maraming salamat.
Hello po. I'm Architect Benedicto Mirasol of LGU-Naga City, Office of the City Planning. May tanong lang po ako, Mayor. Meron po bang LPTRP, yung Baguio City, yung Local Public Transportation Route Plan?
Yes. Well, we have the LPTRP sa siyudad ng Baguio. It was already approved by LTFRB. Unfortunately, the data is not actually accurate. And it's completely inadequate. Kaya naman, ang gulo-gulo ng rota ng siyudad ng Baguio. Kailangan talagang ayusin. And the only way to do that is we need to collect data on a daily basis. And we can only do that not yung analog gagamitin mo. It's about digitalization. That's the reason why we're now shifting to smart traffic controllers. Para araw-araw, yun ang gagamitin namin, pangongolekta ng data.
Yun po, Mayor. Sa Naga City po kasi doon na-identify, barang yung LPTRP, dinownload sa LGU yung paggawa ng LPTRP.
Yes.
Dahil nandun nga yung issues in concern sa mobility ng mga transport. Kaya sabi nga, at least ngayon, na-identify doon yung mga minimum lang na sasakyan na dapat i-address na gumagamit ng mga kalsada natin.
Yes.
Yes.
Very challenging yan because we have about 40 plus routes sa siyudad ng Baguio. No? Very challenging. At looking at the terrain ng Baguio, alam niyo naman, di ba? Mga rugged terrain sa amin. So very challenging. Pati yung pag-construct ng mga roads is really challenging. Unfortunately, we started on the wrong foot. No? Nung ginawa yung LPTRP, with inadequate data, At patapos the way they gathered the data, talagang, I would say, inefficient. Inefficient siya. Admittedly, inefficient siya. Kaya nangyari, nung in-implement yung LPTRP, it's not at all responsive and did not add value to what we actually, envision for the city of Baguio. Kaya pinapalitan namin ngayon. And our intention now is to reduce the number of taxis. Kaya siguro 2 months ago, narinig niyo ako na inamon ko ngayon mismo yung LTFRB. Ikaw nga mag-traffic dito. Kasi magdadagdag ulit sila ng 200 na taxis. Di ba? Magdadagdag ulit sila sabi sa akin, electric vehicle, Mayor, ang milalagay namin dyan. Yes, I like electric vehicle. Pero I don't want it to be an add-on. I want it one in, one out. Sabi ko, subukan mo ikaw mag-traffic dito. Mabuti sana kung kayo nagta-traffic dito. Immediately umakyat naman si Executive Director Virgo. At ako naman, nag-apologize sa kanya kasi sa init lang ng ulo ko kaya ako nagsalita ng gano'n. No? Pero very accommodating siya. So, kailangan ang mangyayari ngayon for the case, sa case namin, and probably case din sa ibang lugar, is to significantly reduce yung low-capacity public transport, taxis, for example, and increase public high-capacity vehicles, and these are the PUJs. And of course, to modernize this as well. So marami na hong pumupunta ngayon sa Baguio ng mga companies, mostly Chinese vehicles. Connected actually with BYD, Fulton, top car companies in China. Lagi silang nagtetest ng mga electric vehicles nila, public transport vehicles, high capacity, minibuses, sa syudad ng Baguio. Because if it works in Baguio, then it will work anywhere in the entire country. Ganun ho yung kanilang mindset. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mayor. I'm Dennis Nang. I'm the founder of Mober. I think kung yung lahat ng vision nyo, nagagawa nyo na, you're making it a reality in Baguio. My question next is, wag naman sanang suluhin ng Baguio ang vision mo. Kung tatanungin ka, anong higher position ang gusto mo para lahat ng buong Pilipinas ma-replicate nyo, Mayor? Ayan. No, I'm not asking Mayor to run for President, pero yung kaya mong kontrolin at isang switch mo lang, okay, let's do it, Mayor.
I always dreaded that question because it's a matter that is always being raised every time I'm interviewed. We're from the Mayor's for Good Governance, and our advocacy has shifted now to raising awareness, to educating our young people on how to choose the right leaders. I mentioned that yesterday. Kung mahahaluhan yan ng political ambition, baka mawala kami sa focus. And we will be very compromising. Kaya sa ngayon, please understand that it's not one of my priorities not right now. In fact, naririnig ako ni Senator Lacson. Pinatawag niya ako. Sabi niya, pwede ba, Benji, tumahimik ka muna dyan. Huwag ka muna magsalita ng tapos. Just keep your options open. Kaya every time, I'm really very sorry, but every time I am asked similar questions, I always say, have a blessed Sunday. So today is Saturday. Sir, have a blessed Saturday po. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Hello. Yes, last two questions po before we wrap up because Mayor has another.
Hello. Good morning po, Mayor. I'm Jana. I'm a solo health tech founder. And I have a lot of friends studying and studied in Baguio City because I came from Pangasinan. Now I live in Pasig. But my question is, it seems like Baguio is so advanced, but I saw and read an article in 2024, actually looked back at it now, saying that only one barangay remains livable in Baguio City. But it's been 2 years, so I want to know more about that.
Totoo naman yan. Because we were able to create a livability index. Livability index includes yung accessibility, supply, water, amenities. Ang daming parameters nun eh. You know? And yet we just would like to be honest with the people of Baguio and at the same time with the entire country na hindi namin pwedeng itago kung anong dapat itago. Diba? Kailangan maging transparent and that's the reason why we are OGP, Open Government Partnership in the city. You know? Very strong on transparency, accountability, and at the same time, strong citizens' participation. Kasi kung itatago namin yan, katulad yung nangyaring diarrhea outbreak, bigla kami nagkaroon, tapos itatago namin, palalabasin namin, everything's okay. It doesn't work. Kaya in just a matter of 2 weeks, na-address kagad namin yung diarrhea outbreak. Diba? By just simply being transparent, people should know, even if it's bad, something negative, people should know what is happening. You know? Kaya sinabi namin, ito yung livability index. Out of 120, isa lang ang livable sa siyudad ng Baguio. Nagulat lahat, bakit livable? Moderately livable, mga 54 lang. Diba? The rest, less livability. Meron kaming dalawang, slight livability. Meron kaming dalawa na talagang walang, what I mean is, regressing in terms of livability. That opened the eyes of people. Bakit ganito nangyari? No? And kita mo, ang involvement nila ngayon, community are more engaging this time. And they would like to participate in governance because of that. No? Kaya we just would like to be very truthful. Meron kami kasing index. Kung gusto namin, ayusin namin index para gumanda yung itsura. Pero it doesn't serve the purpose, di ba? We have a standard to follow. Doon kami doon sa standard. Hindi kami kukuha ng standard na komportable kami. Because that's what transformation is all about, di ba? You have to push yourself to the limit. Kumbaga, if I would like to transform government or transform a city, if my target is here and I can easily reach it, is that transformation? No, it's not. It's not. If it's here, somewhere here, tatayo lang ako ng konti, maglilin lang ako. Is that transformation? No, it's not. Pero kung transform, mag-set ako ng kwan dyan, kay Michael o kay Sir Cesar, diyan ko ilalagay yung target ko, kailangan pa tataas ko pa yung pako, try to reach out. That's transformation. Push ourselves to the limit. Like for example, we aim for, there's a United Nations program, making cities resilient by 2030, and we applied in 2021. Comfortably, we will be able to attain it, MCR 2030. Diba? What we did was, no, we're not aiming for MCR 2030. Look what's going to happen. Tinignan namin yung data namin. We came up with a model. Sabi ng modeling namin, at 2028, between 2028 to 2030, ano sabi? There will be a radical weather change in the weather pattern in the entire Cordilleras. Baguio City will experience 23% increase in rainfall during the rainy season and 43% reduction in rainfall during dry season. That's alarming for the city of Baguio with a huge water problem. So ang ginawa namin, no, we're not going to hit 2030. We're not going for 2030. We're going for 2026. And we need to prepare for that. So we push ourselves to the limit. What we did, anong ginawa namin? Maghanap tayo ng sponsor for a 3-year resiliency program. And true enough, someone responded, Arise, and the National Resiliency Council. 3 years. Tuloy-tuloy yung aming resiliency program. 2 months ago, we got the UNDRR certification, making Baguio City as a resilient hub, second to Makati in their country. That's what transformation. Yes, sir. Meron pa ho ba, ma'am?
Oo. Siguro, Sir Mayor, ilan pa po ang kaya niyong i-accommodate? Mga last one?
Hanggang pwede ho yung oras niyo.
Hindi. Sige po. Siguro po last one daw, sabi ni Abby.
Last pala, kasi meron po
Oo, meron siyang event.
The mayors will be having Mayors for Good Governance will be having a workshop po with Mayor Lenny.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. I'm Marga Moreno, Executive Director of Center for Global Best Practices. I was born in Baguio, actually.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Sir, the question about, I think, food sanitation was partially mentioned earlier. So I was just going to ask if that's an increasing concern in Baguio and how you're able to track incidents like that.
Hindi ko ho nakuha kasi meron akong tinaitos.
Sorry, sir. My question has to do with whether food sanitation is a concern
very
in
good.
Baguio,
Okay, sige.
and if you're able to track such incidents.
Okay, very
Thank you.
good. You know, this is a case where in a whole rat was actually, found in one of the menu.
Oh, yes.
Ang nangyari ho dito, it's a Korean restaurant. Korean restaurant. So what happened was that it was reported to us. Immediately, our sanitation department, our health service, responded. Closed down. But suddenly, on Sunday, for some reason, daringly, binuksan nung Koreano. So, almost half a day, nakapag-operate pa siya. Hanggang nalaman, pinabalikan ko uli. And now we're penalizing him. It's under investigation yung restaurant na yun. Sometimes, as mayor, you have to be harsh. Diba? Better to be feared than respected. No? Kaya lang, nung tinignan ko naman, ilan na empleyado? Ilang taga-Baguio ang empleyado? Tinitignan namin lahat. No? So ngayon, doon na yung compassion. No? Anong gagawin namin doon sa mga... Pero in terms of sanitation, talagang very strict kami. But, anything can happen. And unfortunately, alam mo naman, kung ano yung bad news, that's the good news. No? So everybody actually, it became viral. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na wala kaming ginagawa. Talagang ginagawa namin lahat yan. I remember sa market namin when I assume as mayor of the city of Baguio, there was never a anti-rodent campaign in the Star City. For almost 40 years, walang anti-rodent campaign. Pumunta ako sa gabi, pinasyalan ko yung market namin. That was sometime during the pandemic. Umpisa pa lang ng pandemic. And I was really surprised. Ano yun? Bakit yung mga pusa nasa labas? Sir, alika. Sir, titingnan mo yun. Ano yun? Sabi ko, tubig ba yun? Hindi po, sir. Ano yun? Sir, daga po yun. So, nagpa-contest ako ng daga. Siguro 4 times na ako nagpa-contest ng daga sa market namin. Ganon katindi. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, very transparent kami. Sasabihin ko lahat sa inyo. No? Matindi yung for some reason, rat infestation sa syudad ng Baguio. But we have significantly addressed it. So things happen.
All right. Thank you very much, Mayor Benjamin Magalong. And thank you to everyone who asked questions. Sir, may we invite you, Mayor, to please be at the middle of the stage. And we also would like to invite President Jesraf Palmares of NICP and Mr. Volkstra Corbett, the founding member of Aninag Council, to award our plaque of appreciation. Once again, thank you very much to Honorable Benjamin Magalong. Allow me to read the citation. This plaque of appreciation is hereby presented to Mayor Benjamin Magalong for serving as resource speaker and panelist of the Forum on Smart Mobility, Public Safety, and Urban Resilience held on July 20, 2026 at Summit Hotel, Naga City. Your insights and expertise have empowered participants and helped pave the way for a digitally resilient Philippines. Signed, Mayor Lenny Robredo and Mr. Jesraf Palmares, the President of NICP. Once again, a round of applause, please, for Mayor Benjamin Magalong. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing with us your best practices in Baguio City. Sabi nga kanina nung nagtanong, it's good to also adopt these good practices in every city here in the Philippines. There you have it, and I will now return the microphone to Ma'am Gail. We also would like to award this plaque to Baguio ICT Council. Please receive this plaque of appreciation. Mayor Benjamin, thank you very much. There you have it. Thank you very much. Once again, Honorable Benjamin Magalong, and thank you to Baguio ICT Council as well. And now I will give back the microphone to our panel moderator, Ma'am Gail.
Okay, so at this juncture, I would like to introduce to you our next speaker. While infrastructure provides the foundation, the future of our cities will also depend on our ability to harness emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, and automation to address increasingly complex urban challenges. Our next speaker is an entrepreneur and technology innovator who is helping organizations leverage AI and data-driven solutions to create smarter and more responsive communities. To discuss future-ready cities, AI automation, and smart urban mobility systems, please welcome the founder and Chief Executive Officer of Sirimo, Dr. Cyrus Gomari.
Clicker ba? Or I just say next slide. Ayan. All right. Thank you very much for inviting me dito sa event natin para ma-explain ko anong ginagawa namin sa Naga. Buti nauna si Mayor Benji sa akin kasi lahat ng sasabihin ko related naman sa pinresent niya about Baguio. Interestingly, we actually helped the MPTC who was doing the study for Baguio. We help them partly sa mga ibang parts ng studies na ginawa na for Baguio. But anyway, today I'm going to focus mainly on what we're doing for Naga. We're also doing this for other LGUs, pero we'll show you the use case of Naga specifically. In the context of itong project kasi na to has been funded by DepDev, and it's called the Naga Sirmo AI City Planner. How do we build the future-ready city? Right? Saan ko ito? Ayan. So yung big picture problem that we're solving through this system is ito, no? Gusto na natin maiwasan tong what we have on the left side, which is majority of our towns, provinces, cities. This is actually in Quezon City. Alam ko nandito si CA Mike. alam niya kung saan to. We want to avoid this. Right? Itong stretch ng Commonwealth is at some point 16 lanes. Right? But it hasn't really solved the problem. Right? Of course, once you start digging in kung bakit siya napunta sa ganito, you then look at alam ko meron tayong director from DPWH, pero in reality, there are flaws in some of our guidelines. Na instead of actually solving the problem from on it, from the roots, ito usually ang ina-address lang whenever we add another lane sa mga highways natin, wala, dinadagdagan lang din natin yung traffic because yung root cause of the issue, which is how do we move people around as efficiently as possible, hindi siya na-address. Right? And in sustainable mobility and urban planning, ito on the right side, it's the richest district in the Philippines, Makati CBD. Bakit sobrang iba no itsura? Sobrang para you feel much safer. It's actually enjoyable to walk it. Hindi ka nagmomotor or nagkokotse kahit 300 meters away lang yung pupuntahan mo. Pero aminin natin kahit dito, actually dito sa Naga, if we cross Robinsons to the other side, parang tatama rin ka na maglakad eh. So it starts from that decision point, no? And the system we're building is to justify kung bakit kailangan natin nung nasa right side. And we do that with as massive amounts of data as possible. So on a parang more local level, you might be asking kung bakit ba siya hindi kaya i-implement. Ganito, no, if we break it down, medyo sabog yung kinonvert ba to? Anyway, pag tinignan natin on a local context, bakit nga ba nag-exist yung problem? We can just break it down into 3 components. How do we collect that information? How do you analyze that information? Kasi maraming types of analysis dyan na gagawin nila biased towards ano yung gusto nila i-deploy sa isang city. It's not objective based on what's objectively beneficial for the entire community or city. It's very specific sector-driven yung approaches. And the last point, what's very important for the LGUs, ano ba yung recommendation? Right? What actually helps them? Ang mga mayors naman, they don't look at paano ba kino-collect yung data na yan. They look at, okay, ano yung options ko? Right? And in CIRMO, what we do is we collect the data as fast as possible using the, mamaya explain ko what the system is. Second component is yung analytics niya, it's highly scientific. Hindi na siya yung magtatanong ka sa iba't ibang consultants who would charge you in massive amounts of money, pero yung recommendation hindi rin kaya i-implement. And at the end, we're creating our AI scientists, which is basically AI version ko on how do we do urban and transport planning, right? And the bottom line is to get to decisions as quickly as possible. Kasi yan lang yung importante sa LGU. They don't care if it, what different types of data you have to collect. Ang important sa kanila, what can we implement next week? What can we implement in 2 months? Ano yung mga kaya in 3 years pa kaya magawa? Doon pa lang kung matulungan na natin sila, marami tayong mababago as quickly as possible. So yung, some parts of the system, it's basically lahat ng ginagawa dati na manual. Yung binanggit ni Mayor Benji, I think there was a question from the representative of Iriga, tama ba? About the LPTRP. Yung main problem kasi with the local public transport route plans, lahat yun paper-based the way they collect information. Right? And it's hindi rin siya ganun ka-straightforward kasi i-collect eh. So dun pa lang, sa step 1 pa lang, may error ka na. And then once i-manual mo po yun, i-encode mo pa yun, papasok mo pa sa isang mapa, by the time na gusto mo na siya i-analyze, sobrang dami ng mali dun sa dataset. And as Mayor Benji mentioned, that's why kahit na nakapag-comply with what LTFRB and DOTR wants, hindi naman kaya nila i-implement. Kasi medyo malayo pala sa reality in Baguio, yung na-create na plano. And it's exactly the same thing for Naga. No? Ito, yung left side is basically the mobile app where every component or tool or methodology that used to be manual, we're just integrating it into the app. And automatically napaprocess yan up to how it looks like on the dashboard and how do you analyze it and what types of reports do we need to give very specific recommendations. Right? Yung approach namin baliktad eh. Ang typical consultancy, you create a great master plan na nobody can definitely implement. Parang ang ganda eh. Ang ganda tignan sa, yun sa mga 3D renderings. Pero once you get to actual implementation, you're like, this is like sci-fi, Dapat nag-SimCity na lang ako. Actually, sabi ni Mayor Vico the other day, di ba? Na-inspire siya maging mayor dahil sa SimCity. And it seems like majority of the traditional approaches, ganun din nakagear. Ito, example lang for Naga's public transport. Right now, we're looking into optimizing their public transport. Nandito Sir Willie from the City Planning Office. Yung one thing I think binanggit din ni Mayor Lenny kahapon is that actually all of our cities, majority of our cities in the Philippines, hindi tayo kulang sa supply ng public transport. There are certain there are certain sectors that would say, kailangan natin dagdagan yung jeep, kailangan natin dagdagan yung bus. Pero if you go out there dito sa Naga during off-peak hours, let's say mga 11 a.m., ngayon, mga 11 a.m. or 1 p.m., 2 p.m., makita mo sobrang daming jeep na walang sakay. Because the supply we have, hindi siya optimized for example, if you look at other countries, makita mo pag peak hour, okay, ang daming lalabas. Pero pag off-peak hour, nababawasan siya. Because it's, of course, itong mga issues na to, more administrative na siya. No matter what tech you have there, if the tech is not fit to solve the administrative problems, there's no point in having the tech. Right? Ba't pa tayo nagsasaya ng pera kung hindi rin na-address yung issue na yun? So ito, one example lang to. Mayor Lenny messaged me about it na there are plans kung pwedeng i-extend yung isang route. I think the initial idea was baka pwedeng maglagay ng bagong ruta na naman, bagong franchise na naman yan sa LTFRB. But when we used the system, we just showed them na how does this compare to the existing routes na meron sa Naga. Kaya yung recommendation was, meron naman nang dumadaan dito So, pwede naman ipa-modify na lang yung route. Hindi naman kailangan lahat sila dadaan dyan. Especially since hindi pa natin alam kung gaano kalaki yung demand. Right? So, the system recommends basically ano yung mga decision points na pwedeng i-take up ng city to discuss whether it's with the barangay or the JODAS, TODAS. So yun, very, very specific siya. Ito, another example for pedestrianization naman na example, right? So what usually used to take about mga 2 months na mag-conduct lang ng isang napakasimpleng walkability audit on a certain stretch of the street, ngayon, using the app, actually kahit hindi trained yung tao, kahit walang high school degree yan, sobrang dali nung ginawa namin. As long as kaya nila mag-picture sa phone, at the end of the day, you already have the walkability study you need to justify if you want to make changes on a certain street. Yung data na ginagamit dito is a combination of the traffic counts we have, the walking infrastructure that exists, and ano yung road space lang na meron tayo na kayang gamitin. Ito, another example naman to dito sa Naga din to, na considering the road space we have, ito pag makita nyo sa left side, there's just extra road space na pwede pang i-optimize on paano siya ina-allocate. And then we can reclaim some more space to make the area more walkable and more pleasant to navigate. Right? And there are different use cases na we've done this. This was actually based on a use case we did in Quezon City during my stint as a DOST Balik scientist with them. There was a road crash study that we did na typically it would take 6 months. Pero since embedded yung system with the LGU, it just took us 48 hours to churn out the entire, hanggang implementation yan. Anong transition yung kailangan? How many months does it take to do this? What can we do in 2 weeks? Iba-iba yan kasi of course yung infrastructure changes, physical changes, takes more time. Right? And again, the sole objective of us in Naga and all of the LGUs we work with is how do we justify implementable projects? Right? How do we justify them? How do we back them up to support sustainable development in our cities? And itong sustainable development na sinasabi namin, lahat makikinabang. Hanggang yung binanggit ni Mayor Benji na parking, anong kailangan natin gawin for the pedestrians, anong gagawin natin for the public transport, anong gagawin natin for how do we manage the cars that are coming in, all of that kasama yun. It's just a matter of time kung ano ba yung priority ng isang LGU. And how do you make sure it works? It's basically this. Understand the local context. This was actually the first time I met Mayor Lenny last year, January. The first thing we did, pinuntahan namin yung Riles dito. It's very interesting actually, puntahan nyo. Skates tawag dyan. May makina yan. And it actually serves a certain community dito sa Naga. And in Pasig as well, itong Tawid Bangka na to. Interesting enough, yung Tawid na ito, Quezon City na, sa Eastwood. Pero again, it's serving a community and it's part of the system that needs to be analyzed. So you have to go on the ground. It doesn't matter how good you are as a scientist, as a software developer or whatnot, if you don't know what's going on the ground, again, walang may implement dyan. So where we are now, we're working with multiple LGUs. Isabela Basilan, actually I'm going there next week. Yung context naman sa Isabela Basilan is more development related. And even Rojas City, Pasig, with Pasig actually, they're on their third year with us. And we've done various studies, and hopefully this year some of them will get implemented already. All right, I think that's it. Kung may mga LGUs dito, if you're interested to see how we can help you, how we're helping Naga and the other LGUs, please reach out to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gomari, for sharing how emerging technologies and AI are helping the future of our cities. Our next speaker represents one of the country's leading digital mobility platforms and works closely with government, communities, and stakeholders to advance innovative transportation solutions that are safer, more efficient, and more inclusive. To discuss leveraging technology and data for safer, more efficient, and inclusive urban transportation, please welcome the Manager for Public Affairs of Grab Philippines and my newfound friend, Mr. Ira Angelo Cruz.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Okay, quick survey. How many of you guys here have a Grab app? Okay, thank you. Okay, so I will skip the part where I will talk to you about what Grab is all about and just go straight to the point. I might sound like a commercial at some point, but please bear with me. I mean to just tell you about how we are using technology to make sure that all of us are safe on the roads. So, roads, sir, magandang umaga sa DPWH. Roads are more than just infrastructure, no? Every day, millions of Filipinos rely on them to get to work, return home, or to their families. But while roads enable movement and opportunity, they can also be very dangerous. The 2023 to 2028 Philippine Road Safety Action Plan, or PRSAP, highlights a very troubling rise in road traffic deaths over the past decade. And as former, now Public Works Secretary Vince Dizon candidly put it, people feel very unsafe on our own roads. You know, each year, thousands of lives are lost on Philippine roads, and many of them are vulnerable road users, pedestrians, cyclists, and motorcycle riders. These aren't just numbers, these are people. And that's why road safety isn't something that we take lightly. Road crashes, you know, sometimes sinasabi natin accidents, but actually the right term for it is road crash, as we should properly call them because they are preventable. To address this, the United Nations has outlined 5 pillars of action. There's road safety management, safer roads and mobility, safer vehicles, safer road users, and post-crash response. You know, it's one thing to understand what makes roads safer, and there's another to have the technology to bring those solutions to life. And that's where we at Grab come in. For us, technology isn't just a value proposition, but an enabler. It allows us to embed safety into every journey, and not just for our passengers and drivers, but for those around us. And I'd like to stress that when we talk about safety, it's not just safety of our passengers. It's not just for your safety. We also use technology to make sure that in each ride, our own drivers are safe. But at the same time, as the driver brings you along, we also want to make sure that the people around that car that you're riding is also safe. That's why we make sure that there's intervention for all of these elements, but also that the safety solutions are present during the trip, not just during the trip, but before and after. And that's why our approach to safety actually begins long before a passenger or long before you or a delivery partner picks up an order. You know, from the very beginning, before people get on the car, before drivers start driving, we already have passenger and driver screening. They undergo passenger and driver selfie to make sure that they are identifiable. Authentication ensures that there is accountability from the very beginning. Now, during trips naman, while you are in your Grab car, I'm not sure if you've observed this, there are audio recordings. We call it Audio Protect that can be activated for your added protection. While real-time GPS, on the other hand, allows passengers to be tracked by their loved ones. You can send your journey to your family so that they know exactly where you are and they can follow each journey from start to finish. We've also developed features that address two key contributors to road crashes, yung speed and fatigue. You know, speed is very important because speed is a contributing factor, a major contributing factor to the severity of road crashes. And this data enables us, and through telematics, we are able to also monitor overspeeding. So we know real time if your Grab car drivers are actually violating speed limits. We also check for sudden stops and harsh acceleration. Now, this data enables us to generate behavior reports and properly nudge drivers real time. I guess the next time you ride a Grab car, observe the cell phone of your driver. If you see that the driver is exceeding speed limit, you'll notice that all of a sudden, the screen of the driver turns red. And that's one way for us to inform the drivers that they should slow down. But it doesn't end there. We also receive a report that the driver has exceeded the speed limits. There's also fatigue. You know, in a gig economy, people would want to be able to work as much as they can so that they can make as much income. But we also need to make sure that they don't overtire themselves, that they fall asleep on the wheel. And there is we have the technology that enable us to monitor all of this. You know, the data generates behavior reports and proactively nudges drivers to take breaks when they've been on the road for too long or if they start exhibiting risky behavior. When needed, driver partners are also directed to undergo retraining and participate in continuous learning modules. You know, we offer courses on road awareness, defensive driving, customer service, and many others with digital modules accessible at any time. Performance scorecards keep drivers informed of their progress, while top performers with strong safety records are recognized and rewarded. You know, this feedback loops ensures that our partners are not only meeting standards, but are consistently improving. You know, at the end of the day, just in case you didn't know, Grab is a technology company. But technology and training is not enough. That's why we'll work beyond our platform, joining forces with national agencies, local government units, and civil society organizations to set the bar for road safety for everyone. You know, sometime last year, we launched a collaboration with the Ateneo Bulatao Center for Psychology Services to pilot an evidence-based, behavior-focused training program. The initiative assesses the behavior and cognitive factors that influence rider and driver performance with the goal of improving the overall safety culture within the ride-hailing and motorcycle taxi industries. Okay, so Grab also engages with national government. We work with the Department of Transportation, local government units, the Philippine National Police, and other private sector partners in order to promote safer road use for everyone. At the community level, on the other hand, we proudly supported Alt Mobility PH's Philippine Mobility Series, a 5-month series of mobility chats leading up to the first Philippine Mobility Summit in September of 2025. You know, co-presented with the Department of Transportation, the series convenes stakeholders to identify shared priorities and co-create solutions to persistent mobility and transport issues. Now we understand that plans are underway for a follow-up Philippine Mobility Series, and this time focusing on the Visayas region. Lastly, our goal in sharing our perspective and practices around safety is to help set the minimum standard in the industry. Because we believe that technology, when used responsibly and creatively, can be a powerful force for safety. And we hope that more players in the industry invest in solutions and treat safety not just an obligation, but as a core principle. At Grab, safety is not just a department or a checklist, but a mindset. It's a cornerstone that guides everything that we do, because as we continue to build smarter systems and stronger partnerships, our focus remains the same: to make every journey not only efficient, but safe. You know, the road ahead is very long. But with the collaboration with all of you, the right tools, it's a road that is worth traveling. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ira. So, as we continue our journey through the private sector perspective, we now focus on one of the most significant shifts shaping the future of transportation: the transition to electric mobility. Our next speaker is an entrepreneur and industry leader who is helping accelerate the adoption of electric vehicles and sustainable transport solutions in the Philippines. To discuss driving the EV transition, scaling electric fleets for smarter, cleaner, and more resilient cities, please welcome the founder and CEO of Mober E-Vehicles, Dr. Dennis Nan.
Hi, Marina Aldao, Senduga boss. By the way, if she's from Libon, I'm from Tabaco, Albay. And I'm not a doctor, sorry. My wife is a doctor. Yeah, I think I'm always share this, that I'm the only crazy guy 4 years ago who transitioned to electric vehicle. We started with 2 EV vans with IKEA. So now we have 140, and by year end, hoping that we'll reach around 600 kung ma-release sa custom, right? So, I think from Mayor Magalong, from our colleague sa Grab, when you say mobility, when you say smart city, smart mobility, karamihan, pasahero lahat, right? Electric vehicle, EV, yung mga ganon, right? But we never discuss about logistics. Logistics is very important also in sustainability, even in our to become with a smart structure of one city, right? So I just want to share something that okay. For this one, I just want to share something that we experienced. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we were delivering inside BGC. So I would like to address and ask help from our government friend. You know, when we went inside BGC, EV kami. And you know, when a truck, a 6-wheeler truck, goes inside BGC, we're slapped with 600 pesos fee. Ang tinitingnan lang nila yung gulong. They say, okay, 6-wheeler, 600 pesos. But I've been pitching to them and telling them, hey, our trucks are EV, no pollution, both air and noise. And our truck payload is only 4,450, which is way, way below a 6-wheeler. I fought with them for several months until wala. I mean, I know BGC is managed by BCDA pa, but nothing happened. With my desperation, instead of going and keep paying, I went back to our China OEM, say, gawan mo na lang ako ng four-wheeler with the same, mas mabilis pa. So that's how we did, right? So, so with this one, why freight, no? Why freight matters now? Before, wala naman same-day delivery, walang food delivery. Ngayon, meron na. Consumers are getting very demanding. I think very soon, I don't know if our colleague from Grab will do a quick commerce, 5-10 minutes delivery. I think India is very famous of that, right? Kahit hindi gamot, kahit hindi pagkain, gusto nila 5 minutes to deliver. Just like what happened in our IKEA, when we deliver for IKEA, people are asking, ba't wala pa yung sofa namin? Dapat next day nandiyan na. So these are becoming a behavior now of our consumer. And what we are doing in Mober is we want to make sure that the lesser vehicle in the road but more deliveries, dapat yun ang pwede natin gawin, right? With our colleague from Sermo, they're discussing about AI. So for us, we have so much data now with our delivery. We use AI to make sure na mas maraming deliveries at a shortened time, right? So, again, so this is what we're seeing, more deliveries using AI. Then at the same time, what Grab said, Mober is a tech company because EV is just a tool. We use technology on how we route our deliveries. One good thing with Mober, a logistic company, alam na namin 2 days before kung gaano kalalayo ang i-deliver namin. Based on our experience, I think everybody knows that in EV, the most expensive part of EV is the battery. Right? So in Mober, we never buy our EV from the distributor. We customize it from our OEM. Sinasabi namin sa kanila, ito lang battery kailangan namin sa fleet na to, ito gaano kalaki, so that we are able to fully utilize the battery without spending so much in the capex. Right? So yeah, smart mobility, right? Dapat yung smart mobilities in a city, dapat parang utilities. Parang maging water, electricities, dapat. I'll give you one example. In our experience, delivery inside supermarket, ang pinaka-word namin deadliest. I don't understand. Grabe, pag nagpa-deliver ang Nestle sa amin, papuntang supermarket, the word is tukod. I can understand, umaabot ng 5 oras ang paghihintay, right? I hope that LGUs can also look at it and demand bakit ganun ang supermarket. Hindi natin na fully utilize ang ating delivery. Right, that's one. So, if you look at the back of this background, this is a driverless vans. We have one of this now in the Philippines, yes, walang driver. When I talked to LTO Manila, I said, no way, Dennis, that it will go out in the road. Kasi pag-aaralan pa namin kung paano. So we have one of this, we're bringing more of this, but this one is being used inside the factories where from one warehouse to the other warehouse, we use a technology na wala na siyang driver. That's how we innovate, no? So, public safety. Walang nagsabi sa inyo pag bumili kayo ng EV na kailangan ng BMS. There's a battery management system. Right? We track our EV through our BMS in real time. Alam namin kung umiinit yung battery o hindi. We know how much longer the battery will last. Because that's most expensive part of the EV, yan ang ginagawa namin. So that's very important. Next time you buy your own EV, ask for BMS. So again, if you look at the back of the background, this is a 39 tons, 45 tons tractor head. As a Bicolano, we are plotting, we're putting charging station in every 150 kilometers from Manila all the way to Sorsogon. We're connecting this with using EV. Ang problema namin yung brownout. So we have to come up with another solution na magkakaroon ng battery management system. So yes, again, so as a logistic practitioner in a local city, dapat ma-practice din natin. Kasi ang dami natin truck sa labas eh. If we're less than the truck, better. Pag binuksan natin yung isang truck dyan, at any given time, hindi yan puno. So, again, for Mober, sa amin sa Mober, people is our business. We can buy EV trucks anytime, but who will drive? Again, I will cite the example of our partner from Grab, no, tao ang kailangan. We have to train them. We have around 5 or 6 lady truck drivers now. Because driving EV is a lot easier. With all due respect sa mga kalalakihan, lady drivers are very efficient. Very efficient. Hindi nag-absent, hindi nalilate. Maayos silang kausap. I hope anybody here who want to change the career, let me know. So, again, I will finish my presentation here. Hopefully, makonect ko ang buong South using our electric trucks. Thank you very much.
Mr. Dennis Nang. So we will now move to hearing the national perspective and the critical role of infrastructure in enabling smart mobility, public safety, and urban resilience. Our next speaker leads the Bureau of Equipment of the Department of Public Works and Highways, where he oversees the modernization and management of equipment resources that support the country's infrastructure development and disaster response capabilities. But before we move forward to that, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the ever-beautiful Undersecretary of the Department of Budget and Management, Yusek Sasa, my very good friend. Hi! So, to share the national infrastructure perspective, building smart, safe, and resilient mobility systems through modern infrastructure and equipment, please welcome Director Toribio Noel Ilaw, Director of the Bureau of Equipment, Department of Public Works and Highways.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. We are the non-infra, in particular we're the equipment phase of the Department of Public Works and Highways. When people think about DPWH, they usually see roads, bridges, flood control structure, buildings, and equipment. But behind these assets is a deeper public value, which is mobility. Infrastructure matters when a child reaches school, a patient reaches a hospital, goods reach the market, and responders reach communities in danger. So our story today is not simply about building infrastructure. It is about how DPWH is beginning to operate a smarter mobility system supported by equipment, data, energy readiness, and people who can act on evidence. Mobility is now under stress. Floods close roads, landslides isolate communities, earthquakes disrupt networks, urban growth creates congestion. Equipment downtime delays maintenance and response. Scattered data slows down decisions. For DPWH, these are not only technical concerns, they are public concerns. Every closed road affects families, workers, patients, students, logistics, and emergency response. That is why our challenge is changing. It is no longer about and no longer enough to deliver infrastructure. We must keep mobility functioning under pressure. This is where ICT becomes essential. To see earlier, decide faster, deploy smarter, and serve with greater confidence. Globally, organizations are moving through the same journey. The first question was, where is the vehicle or equipment? That was tracking. When the question became, is it being used well, maintained properly, and operated safely? That was fleet management. Today, the question is more strategic. What is the data telling us? What risk is emerging? What decisions should leaders make now? And that is intelligence. For DPWH, this global trend is very practical. Smart cities, digital twins, AI, analytics, and sustainable mobility are useful only if they help keep roads passable, assets available, flood risk visible, and public service reliable. Our journey did not start with AI. It started with the need to see and manage our fleet better. In 2018, DPWH began the fleet management system journey. In 2021, we started AI for operational analysis and decision support. In 2023, we piloted 4 units with 1 telematics platform, 3 service vehicle, and 1 water-based equipment. In the same period, EV acquisition was prioritized over internal combustion engine vehicles to support the target that 10% of the DPWH will be electric by 2030. In 2024, telematics became required in all purchases of equipment and vehicles, including EVs. In 2025, business intelligence strengthened further our fleet MS analytics, and the first full EV trucks with charging station were acquired. By 2028, machine guidance and LiDAR outputs will support digital twin application for dredging management. This is the road from fleet digitization to mobility intelligence. For DPWH, resilience is operational. It means mobility continues or is restored faster when the system is under stress. We anticipate through hazard information, LiDAR, risk maps, and simulation. We prepare through fleet readiness, quick response assets, and pre-positioning. We respond by deploying equipment, people, materials, and field teams. We recover by restoring passability and stabilizing affected areas. And we improve through evidence, dashboards, after-action review, and lessons learned. The lesson is clear. Resilience is not only built into structures, it is built into operations. Fleet MS is becoming more than a database. It is becoming an integration layer for mobility operations. In the field, We now have many signals, telematics, cameras, machine guidance, LiDAR, EV charging data, maintenance record, and utilization reports. Individually, these signals are useful. Integrated, they become decision intelligence. They help us understand where assets are, how they are used, whether they are available, what work they performed, and what risk require action. AI should not replace management judgment. It should strengthen it. Please, Fleet MS integrates the data. Analytics help interpret the data. DPWH uses the insight to protect mobility, safety, resilience, and public service performance. Let me make the story concrete. In the past, many field updates depended on manual reports, phone calls, photos, and later consolidation. Those are still important. But in time-sensitive operations, we need to see earlier, understand faster, and decide with better confidence. Telematics shows where assets are. Camera supports safer behavior. Machine guidance help monitor dredging up progress. LiDAR shows that what changed in the field. At the Nabotas Sanitary Landfill fire, we used thermal LiDAR, which gave us another capability. It made hidden hit risk zones visible. That helped guide equipment response, reduce exposure time for personnel and equipment, and support faster stabilization of the affected area, including air quality, returning towards normal levels. The fire started in April 10, and fire out was declared on May 10, 2026, completed 1 month earlier than the projected minimum 2 months decision. That is digital field intelligence in public service. Our mobility story has a sustainability side. DPWH is acquiring electric vehicles in line with the EBITDA requirements and rolling out charging stations to more than 200 DPWH offices nationwide. For government, EV adoption cannot stop at procurement. It must be managed across the full life cycle. Acquire, assign, charge, operate, maintain, monitor, repair, and replace or dispose. That is why we are updating the DPWH land-based equipment fleet policy to include EV fleet life cycle management. Clean mobility must be operational, safe, auditable, and sustainable over time. By 2028, our direction is clear. DPWH must continue evolving into a smart, safe, resilient, sustainable, inclusive, and accountable organization. Smart because decision must be supported by data. Safe because operations must protect workers, drivers, responders, and most importantly, the communities. Resilient because mobility must continue under stress. Sustainable because future fleets and facilities must support cleaner and more efficient operations. Inclusive because infrastructure must connect people to services, opportunities, and dignity. Accountable because public decisions must be evidence-based and auditable. Our story is not that DPWH is simply adopting technology. Our story is that DPWH is building the operating system for future mobility, connected through Fleet MS, guided by data, strengthened by AI, supported by equipment and field intelligence, powered by EV readiness, and anchored on public service continuity. This is the DPWH story. Thank you very much.
juncture, I would like to introduce our next speaker is, and as they say, save the best for last, diba? So they are our main partner speaker. Our speaker brings more than 2 decades of experience in technology, business development, and enterprise sales. Having worked across various industries and helping organizations navigate digital transformation and innovation. Today, he leads the growth and expansion of Vantic Philippines, a global leader in real-time intelligent systems that power smart cities, critical infrastructure, and next-generation public services. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. J.V. Colaiko, Head of Sales of Vantic Philippines. A round of applause, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. Congratulations to the organizers of ClickConEx. It's my first time here in Naga, and it's talagang much more beautiful than it was in the picture. So I'm so happy to be here. So first, a picture paints 1,000 words, and I want to unpack the picture that you see here. But before I do that, just a little bit about who I am, who Vantic is, who Radenta is. So, as mentioned, Vantic is a Silicon Valley-based company. We're a world leader in real-time AI orchestration. That's a mouthpiece. What the hell does that mean? Hopefully, over the next 10 minutes, I will explain what it means and you'll see the relevance for all of us, no? But yeah, so Vantic's a US company. We operate in 17 countries. We've opened here in the Philippines just about last year. And interestingly, the Philippines is the Vantic's headquarters for Asia Pacific. So this is our base, and we're expanding into countries like Malaysia, Thailand, even Australia, with Philippines as our base. No, Radenta is our Vantic's local partner here in the Philippines. They're fully trained on the platform, and they are going to be building applications for Vantic for our customers. Okay, so nice picture here. At first I was thinking, oh my gosh, galit siguro yung mga organizers sa akin kasi they put me at the end, and of course by the end people are medyo hungry na, no? Medyo hard to concentrate. But then I realized, after listening to the previous presentations, actually tama lang eh. Because all of the previous presentations, great they all were, feed into what I'm going to talk about. So you see here, the beautiful city of Naga, and you can see here, of course, all of these connections happening there. No? So it's a beautiful city, looks very peaceful, but as we know, any city is actually chaotic to run. So my hat goes off to the great mayors like Mayor Lenny, Mayor Benji. I saw CA Mike here from QC earlier. They're like CEOs making sense of all the chaos that's happening there. Right? They're managing people, they're managing many systems. Ang gulo, right? How do you make sense of all of that? How do you orchestrate all of that? And when we talk Vantic, and Radenta, we're talking about AI for the real world, which means AI that can help with all of this. So keep that in mind, no? Underneath this beautiful city are thousands of workflows. So many things that people need to orchestrate for things to work well. Okay, this is the sad reality of the Philippines, a snapshot, no? Losses from disasters, whatever the number is a huge number, right? Every year we lose so much from typhoons, lindol, bulkan, whatever, no? We know Philippines is a safe country, but there is still a lot of inefficiency. So statistics say that only 7 out of 10 incidents are actually unresolved. So disasters, public safety. We talked a lot today about mobility. We've all suffered through traffic. If you've been to Manila, right? I didn't see So much traffic here, but actually on the way coming in from the airport in Legazpi, medyo may traffic then. And of course, what does that mean? People are unhappy, right? Low rating for LGU service, which of course, as a public servant, as a mayor, you want to bring that up as a city administrator. So of course, our solution, we hope and we know, can help address all of this. It sounds very grand, no? Intelligent cities, smart cities, we always hear that. What does that mean in the context of Vantic and Radenta and what we provide? Oops, sorry. Okay, so Radenta has developed a platform called Aegis. It's built on Vantic. You know, Aegis, it's a Greek word. It means a shield or a protector, right? And what it does actually, it's as I said earlier, it's a real-time operations platform, and it uses AI for that. What makes it different? Okay, this is what you need to understand, what you need to understand about Aegis, okay? Just think about it does three things, okay? It senses, it analyzes, and it acts, okay? What does it sense? Anything that you can translate into digital, it can ingest that, okay? So, weather satellites, CCTVs, traffic light sensors, IoT, databases, social media, SMS, voice communications, anything that can be translated and that is needed in the workflow of a city, right, can be ingested by Aegis at scale, okay? And then when you have all of that data in there, and again, you can imagine data and information across all sorts of different systems that normally don't talk to each other. So we talked, for example, earlier about, for example, the gentleman from DPWH was talking about their assets, right, being enabled and being able to be monitored. We talked about smart mobility, wherein you have traffic sensors, you have CCTV cameras monitoring, right, and so on and so forth. Imagine all of those different systems, you know, that are from different departments, different tasks that need to be done, all ingested into the platform. Next, what's the use of data without being able to make sense of it? That's where the AI part comes in. Okay, so using AI and Gen AI, we make sense of all of that information. And we all know that AI does that, okay? O may AI tayo, it tells us what to do, these are the analytics, okay, and now we do it. But we finally go one step further, and that's what makes Aegis very unique. After analyzing everything, it will act in real time and at scale. And when I say real time, we're talking about being able to act on 150,000 different events per second or even more. Okay? So once you understand what Aegis does, it takes in the information, it analyzes with AI, and it takes action, you'll see how it applies. Sorry, next please. One more. Thank you. How it applies across all the different spaces we were talking about. Disaster management, public safety, smart mobility, social services, being transparent with the citizens. What's common to all of those? Like that picture of the city at the beginning, there's chaos happening in all of these different activities. Ang gulo. Imagine a disaster. Disaster by definition is chaotic. You're coordinating relief goods, you're coordinating emergency services, you're coordinating where to put the displaced people, public safety, managing the police force, managing your ambulance, right? Smart mobility, traffic, right? A lot of things going on, and so on and so forth. So common across all of these is this chaotic situation that you need to make sense of. And again, that's where the power of Aegis comes in, because for each of them, right, you will be able to integrate the different activities and sources of information and then take action in real time. Let me actually, let me fast forward to, yeah, can you play the video, please? LA. So this is a long video, so I'll skip through it, but just want to see a couple of points.
In this demonstration, I'll walk you through a powerful dynamic insight platform for smart cities built on the Vantic platform. Vantic is a real-time AI orchestration platform that connects data, systems, and AI models across an entire city, giving operators the ability to act immediately on what matters most. This system allows monitoring of multiple city functions like utilities, infrastructure, and public safety, all from a single centralized dashboard. It also updates and operates in real time. First, you can set the default city. Right now, it's set to Metro Manila. Let's say I change it to Antipolo. The location updates, and shortly after, you get the update completed.
Okay,
On
can
the
you
left
pause
side,
it?
we have
LA,
environment data, which shows the
pause,
temperature,
please.
noise level, and humidity for the entire city.
Pause, please. Okay, so just quickly, I'm not going to go through the whole video. So you can see here, right, all of the different systems being integrated. Now, obviously, not all Philippine cities, no one Philippine city has all of these systems. But you can imagine, right, everything from environmental data, power consumption, water quality, smart trash bins, CCTV cameras, Wi-Fi, traffic, parking, all of the different cities are integrated here. But it's not just a dashboard, okay? What it does is when a CCTV camera detects, for example, a fire or detects a traffic accident, right? It will then know where is the closest ambulance, where is the closest hospital, where is the closest patrol car, and then send a dispatch directly to them so they can go there. Okay. So I know my time's about up, but let me just show you that this is not science fiction. We actually do this elsewhere in the world. Can you fast forward na lang, please? Sige pa, just a couple of slides. Okay, just to show you that this is not science fiction, that we've done this elsewhere in the world. So in Japan, Japan's entire disaster management program was built using the same technology that Aegis is built on. Weather satellites, tsunami sensors, earthquake sensors, social media, CCTV cameras, everything whenever there's a disaster, it's all managed by, in effect, a technology like Aegis. In Saudi Arabia, 95 buildings across 1.6 million square meters and 11,000 CCTV cameras are all managed by the system. So it does public safety, it does tag and track for suspicious people, it looks for any issues, and then in real time, the police, ambulance, whatever, are alerted. In the US, this is for smart mobility. We're doing work with Texas A&M for managing highways. And here in the Philippines, we're doing work with one of the major tollway corporations to AI-enable their operations. And last, an example of a city wherein they were able to bring vandalism down by something like 80% by using AI technology, right? So this is not science fiction. We've done it. And we're doing it here in the Philippines. Radenta is our local partner. And the last slide I will show you is, right, the way we work, I've made a lot of promises. I make it sound like science fiction. Don't believe me. Contact Radenta, right? And they will do a pilot for you free of charge. In 1 month, they will build you a live working application so you can see that this actually works, because we're doing it right now. And if you like what you see, then that's when you can sign on the dotted line, right? I have to do my sales pitch, it's my title, right? But again, don't take my word for it. The pilot is free of charge. Yes. Sorry?
Hello, sorry, ma'am. We will allot time for questions.
So,
Yes,
thank
we will,
you.
We will allot time for questions po. Promise, promise.
So again, thank you very much for your time. I had a lot to say, but I'm here afterwards, so you can just come and have a chat with me or the team from Rodenta. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. J.V. Colaiko. So we have now heard valuable perspectives from government leaders, infrastructure experts, technology innovators, mobility providers, and sustainability champions. At this point, we invite all our distinguished speakers to join us on stage as we move into our panel discussion entitled From Congestion to Connectivity, Building Smart Mobility and Safer Urban Systems. This discussion will explore how government industry, technology providers, and investors can work together to create mobility systems that are efficient, inclusive, resilient, and future-ready. At this time, may we invite our distinguished Track 3 speakers to please join us on stage. Our Track 3 main partner, Mr. J.V. Colaiko, representing the National Infrastructure Perspective, Director Toribio Noel Ilaw, and representing the Electric Mobility Perspective, Mr. Dennis Nang. And your moderator will be none other than the very beautiful, sexy Gail Macapagal. Palakpakan naman dyan. So, si ma'am, sige, and because mukhang very passionate si ma'am, nag-restroom. Si ma'am naman, nagbanyo pa, inuna ko na nga siya. Alright, so, good morning to my very handsome panelists. I am honored to be the rose among the thorns. And thank you very much for sharing your perspective. Marami kaming natutunan together with yung speech ni Mr. Mayor, ni Honorable Mayor Magalong, no? So my first question is on mobility. By 2028, what will separate cities that successfully deliver safe, efficient, and inclusive mobility from those that continue to struggle with congestion, accessibility, and fragmented transportation systems? Who wants to start?
Good morning again to everyone. Before I can answer that question, because we're looking at several variables for us to consider whether a city or any local government can transition from a more, what you call, a higher level of mobility in terms of lesser congestion and other factors that we can categorize them as the next ready or smarter cities by that time. For example, one thing that Mayor Magalong has mentioned is about the congestion that runs around any local government units. So we have to look and study the traffic management system of the area, the volume of traffic in the area, the population that uses the transportation system. And of course, we have to look at other factors like population growth, the development of the area. And of course, we have this Damocles sword, which is the climate change. By the end of the year, we would be experiencing a different level of El Nino. Definitely, it would have a bigger impact in terms of, for the government, preparing for larger disaster, faster and most appropriate response. So there's so many variables. And in terms of the timeline, as Mayor Magalong has said, it depends upon the focus, the commitment, and the plans of any local government to prepare them for the future, which includes resiliency and, of course, addressing the issues that surrounds a better level of public mobility.
Thank you, Director Ila. How about you, Mr. Nang?
Yeah, I think 2028 is just a stone throw away, right? And this is a very massive and gigantic mission, no? Well, as far as we are concerned on the clean logistic, I think the LGUs or the government should open its mindset to adapt it faster. Like, I mean, recently you saw a news that even DOE, they're mandating the LGUs to give easy access to charging station. Imagine just a charging station, right? For us in Mober, we have this 4,000 square meters of our charging hub in Pasay. Took us 4 months to receive that permit, no? Imagine mo, nandiyan na yung lahat ng EV namin, hindi kami makagalaw kasi wala kaming charging station, right? So, these are the things, right? And then the other one is like, our facilities is seated under a 39,000 square meters of property of SSS. Tatlo lang kaming tenants. Then we've been asking and begging SSS if we can go a direct contract to expand our facilities, no? But because, of course, with all due respect, they have this process, kailangan pa i-bidding, and we've been asking SSS to put PV on top of that 39,000 square meter na bubong, no? Can you imagine how many megawatts of clean energy na makukuha namin? But again, because they have their own process, it takes a lot of time, no? Sana mabawasan.
How about our main partner, Mr. J.V. Colaiko?
So I guess I have two answers to that. No, the first is, I think we call ourselves an AI company, but to be honest, I think minsan nakakasawa na to be hearing AI, right? It's AI this, AI that. We've all used ChatGPT and all that, so we know it's very powerful. But really, I think the challenge on the technology side is how to make that AI practical, and that's why we don't develop our own AI models, right? What we focus on is being able to connect the real-world systems out there and orchestrate them with AI. Because you could have the best AI in the world, but if you're not connected to the systems on the ground, and if you're not actually using that AI to take action, right, you're not really maximizing the technology. That's why we focus on, being able to integrate all of these different systems. That's the first answer to the question. The second answer is unfortunately maybe a bit more realistic, which is what someone shared earlier on, is that, look, technology can only get you so far, right? At the end of the day, there are realities of administrative delays, red tape, and let's face it, there's also the realities of people's actual behavior. So, I think as corny, as it sounds, every citizen needs to look at themselves and help things along also. No? So technology is there, the government is there, but we also need to take ownership of that process.
I agree. Ownership is very important. So, this is the legacy question that I will ask you. If we gather again at ClickConEx in 2028, what is the one measurable outcome that would convince you that Philippine cities are succeeding in creating safer, smarter, and more resilient communities? Who wants to go ahead? Mr. Colaiko?
So 2 years from now.
2 years from now.
I think, when we have conferences like this, there are different technologies being shown. There's all of these different ideas, right?
There's so many buzzwords.
Yeah, so many buzzwords. I don't think the answer is to implement so many solutions, so many programs at the same time. You know, it's a you know, in a related thought, right? People will sometimes say, you know, we have too many laws in this country. Let's focus on enforcement of what's already there. Apologies if there are any legislators in the room, no. But by the same token, as applied to what cities can do, I think fewer programs, fewer technologies being implemented, but the ones that are really impactful and the ones that they're low-hanging fruit so that you can actually get them done. They're quick wins, but they actually have a tangible effect. That way, you show all the stakeholders, right? You convince people in government, you convince the citizens that this is the way to go. And that's why for us, no, when we work with customers and we do a pilot, we'll say, look, there's 10 things that you want to do. Choose one, or at most two, that you can do now, or that we can do now with you, and will have an effect. And let's do that, right? Because that's where it starts. Don't try to do too many things.
Yeah, so JV, to piggyback on what you said, I think if I were the one that would answer the question, I would just say that I think the most measurable outcome that I would like to see is cutting the silos between government, private sector, communities, and that is why NICP is here, because we bridge the gap from government, industry, academe, community. So removing that silo for me is very important. Director Ilaw.
From our perspective, in terms of public management, we're already seeing signals that can give us a 2028 picture wherein we can see a society that works together. Government, the private sector, the civil society organizations. Just to give a hint, in several areas, if you've heard about the Oplan Kontra Baha, there are LGUs wherein we were able to mobilize and prove that if the whole society works together and realize together that they can achieve something, even in a shorter period of time, they can achieve something big. And there are a lot of testimonies, concrete evidence, that even if you're not going to an advanced technology or multiple solutions, if the society as a whole is focused towards achieving something doable, it's possible in 2028. And we have proven that in some of the areas in the country wherein we implemented Oplan Kontra Baha and introduced technology on how we can improve lives in the society and still maintain or improve public mobility.
Thank you. Mr. Nang?
Speaking of legacy, I think I won't be the CEO and founder of MOBER anymore because I will be able to successfully exit MOBER, and meaning I'm able to get a bigger investor, a bigger player who can expand what we have been doing now. So meaning, pag wala ako sa MOBER na, ibig sabihin, nagawa na namin lahat at may gagawa na at dudugtong na sa pinagagawa namin na matuloy-tuloy ito on a much, much bigger scale than what we are doing now. I think that's a legacy that I want to share.
Thank you, JV. Thank you, Director Ilaw, and thank you, Dennis. Ma'am, your question, please.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for this session, and thank you very much to our speakers. I really appreciate the very last one. That was Mr. J.V. Colaiko. Okay, agent. I'm familiar with AG's, the Lockheed history. Okay, I know where you're coming from. If everybody search it, Lockheed, okay? It started military operations, so now you're going commercial, which is good, but may I just say everybody was so noisy, not listening to him, but what he presented is what agentic AI is all about. all of us here, I was so brain drained since yesterday, and everybody was still talking about chat AI. That is the very basic level of AI. You all have these solutions, but they're just feeding. You're just feeding it. Inuutusan nyo lang yan. Okay? Parang lapdog. Okay? Please take note of what Redenta, Aegis, Redenta, and Vantic platform is, because that is the next level. That is where 30% of the world is already, and we are 10 years backwards. I'm just saying. Because this is preparation for what? The next level, which is super AI. So if we are rushing towards super AI, nandito pa lang tayo sa chat eh. Chat. And I bet you, even researchers here, don't know how to maximize chat GPT to make it agentic for them. So, I'm sorry, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher for like 25 years. I'm into alternative education, and this is my point and my challenge. You say your legacy. At the end of the day, nobody talked about challenging DepEd. Education. We are all educated here under the formal school system, and it's not working anymore. The only thing I saw solutions is for higher education here in Naga. And then si Mayor Lenny lang nagsabi by grade 3, dapat nakakabasa na. But what technology are you using? And hindi lang dapat nakakabasa, dapat nakaka-comprehend ng basa, di ba? So I challenge you, business owners, support like people like us who are using education, technology, EdTech, on basic education level. What do you have for that? For basic ed level. Kasi nandun po yung problema. Somebody mentioned here about they have poor analytics from DPWH. Why do you think we have poor analytics? Because the one managing the software has poor IQ and absent EQ. So it's still human, right? Yes, so please, sirs, what do you have for basic education? Yun ang question.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. May sagot ba tayo? Do we have anything for basic education?
Well, all I can say, I guess, at this point, ma'am, is that, number one, first of all, amen. 100%. Education is the future of this country, and it's really sad to see how far we've fallen behind, no? And that's a generational problem. This is something that our kids and our grandkids are going to be dealing with if we don't fix this. Now, to directly answer your question, it just so happens that Secretary Sunny, we went to the same high school. We're actually co-parents in school. So I actually do plan to meet him and explore what are the things in whatever way that we can help the DepEd, no?
Point taken. Tutsi is my batchmate in Saints Co. Okay, one last question because ang laki po dito, time's up. But the Vice President of NICP has a question, Mr. Michael Chulim.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe my voice can be heard. I'd like to open up the question to everyone, although I'll be very specific first for Sir Dennis. Actually, you're the few people I follow in LinkedIn. I'm also an EV enthusiast. I got it when it first came out. But my question is, NICP has been a staunch kind of endorser of e-commerce. We want to build one ourselves, and the main reason why we want to build it is it's easy to be able to link farmers direct to the market. But the missing link there is logistics. Now, the secret to when we study China and why e-commerce is so successful in China is because they mastered the art of logistics. In order to send something from China now to the Philippines is 50 pesos. I send something with Lalamove from Quezon City to Manila is 150 pesos. So the secret here is how do we get logistical costs down to that level, 30 to 50 pesos per delivery. My question to everyone here is, because Moberg cannot do it by itself, a logistics company cannot do it by themselves, can I ask, from your perspective, how would you, from running your own company, be able to lower your cost to offer it at that level? What would it take and what kind of support would you need?
Thank you, sir. Well, again, for us, it's collaboration. No? Mover is a transport company. Highfalutin lang because we use EV, no? Pero technically, trucking company kami. So we have to connect with some players, right? Cross-docking, warehousing, right? But again, it's about being creative, no? I'll give one example that I hope a mall operator can help, or sir, you can help me do this. Sa isang mall operator, there are an average of 300 stores, tenants, every 300. Can you imagine every week, in 3 times a week, nagkukuhan sila, replenish. Kung 300 yan, 300 trucks ang pupunta. So, we've been doing this, Deb, we call it Mover Share. Babaliktarin ko. Ang ginagawa na namin ngayon is like, lahat ng tenants, pinipin na namin yung bodega nila kung nasaan, then we optimize the hub. Parang simple lang. Parang school bus. Kung nasaan yung mga bata, doon susunduin sa labas, then isang bus lang pupunta sa school, right? If we're able to do this, sir, successfully, no, can you imagine if we consolidate 6 stores in one EV, meaning 300 store over 6, 50 na lang papasok. We solve this issue, no? At the same time, this is one way of lowering our costs. Meaning, instead a store producing their own truck, going inside, paying driver, helper, we just charge you, let's say, 300, 400 pesos per drop, right? This is something that we've been looking, no? Number 2, we've been exploring, like, there's a big pharmacy, a new pharmacy player. Hindi na kami nag-load ng mano-mano. We use our own cage trolley. From their warehouse, they pick and put that in cage trolley. Then we just add a lifter at the back of our truck. Per cage trolley, isang store, no? We never open, we never handle pa isa-isa. This is an efficiency play, sir. Again, I hear you. Totoo. From Manila, sending one container to Cebu or to Visayas, Mindanao, costs 100,000. From China to Philippines, $300. Or Philippines to China, $50 kada container. So these are the things, sir. This is the motivation that I'm getting. If I can electrify Manila South all the way to Matnog and all the way to Visayas, Mindanao by putting charger for our tractor head, ang liit na ng cost eh. For EV, the farther we travel, the lesser the cost. Kasi on a per kilometer namin is around 5 pesos. Versus pag diesel way back at 55 pesos per liter, no? Nasa 14 pesos eh. So yun dapat ma-connect, sir. If we can collaborate with government to help us bridge this, no? And remember, Manila, Bicol, there are hundreds o baka thousands of buses every day from and to. So walang gusto mag-EV because there's no facilities or infra there, right? But at the same time, most of our bus operators, they still stuck with the ICE. Hindi pa nila na fully depreciate. So that the transition mahirap pa. So this is why kami sa Mover, we used to be we used to be an app, like Lala Move. It's very easy for us to transition to EV because we're asset light. It's easier for us to buy EV. But again, all our investors are telling me, when are you going to be asset light again? So, iikot lang kami. So, this is how we want to do it. Thank you, sir.
Will you be answering, Sir JV?
Just very quickly, no. I think that's a classic. That's a classic question of. So you have the 3 components here, right? It's partly technology, and obviously, what we do, we have applications for logistics, right, to make it more efficient. That helps, right? But there's a structural problem, for example, with the Philippines. China is it's a single mass of land, no? We're 700 islands, right? So dun palang, it's difficult. We don't have the scale also. So there's always going to be an inherent challenge there. And then, not to put the DPWH on the spot, but obviously it's an infrastructure thing, no? I mean, we need to build up the infrastructure so that it's easier, right? And then the last piece component, so technology, infrastructure, and then you have, exactly as what our Mober was saying, business models, right? That's exactly a great example where you make change the business model so it becomes more efficient. So as with all things, there's no one silver bullet. Technology is a piece of it, but as with many problems, technology helps, but it's not going to be the end solution. There's different pieces to the pie. So.
Thank you, JV. Director Ilaw?
If we would be looking at logistics management, we're looking at a bigger picture here. That's supply chain. And we see that logistics is just part of the supply chain. So in order for us to maximize what's in the supply chain, let's study what can we improve within the supply chain. What process can we improve in the supply chain? What particular process can we reduce cost? But as Dave said, it's both structural and non-structural approach. For us to say at least we can lower down the cost. But then again, as JB said earlier, one of the main reasons why logistics is quite high here in the Philippines, we are an archipelagic country. So moving one product to another island is quite challenging. But there is that still portion wherein we can study the whole supply chain and apply the appropriate structural and non-structural intervention to further lower down the cost.
Thank you to our panelists. I now turn you over to our MC.
Thank you very much to our beautiful and sexy panel moderator. Now, please join us here, Ma'am Gail, for the photo opportunity. We will be having a photo opportunity with all our panelists. And please join the photo opportunity. We have the Treasurer of NICP and President of Cavite ICT Council, Ma'am Teresita M. Liabres. Please join us once again here on stage. She gave a while ago the opening remarks. And to be joined as well by the officer, the Executive Director of the Public Safety Office of the City Government of Naga, Mr. Rene Gumba. Sir Rene? So once again, let's give a round of applause to all our panelists. We have Mr. JV Colaiko, the Head of Sales of Vantic Philippines, as well as we have Mr. Toribio Noel Ilao, the Director of the Bureau of Equipment of the Department of Public Works and Highways. And we have Mr. Cyrus Gomari. I'm Mr. Dennis Nang. Thank you very much to all our panelists. Once again, thank you to our panel moderator and Ma'am Teresita Liabres and Mr. Rene Gumba. Thank you very much. There you have it. That concludes our Track 3, Smart Mobility, Public Safety, and Urban Resilience. But we will be having our partners highlight. So we all know that plans is not enough. We have to have good implementation of these plans. And so we will now move on to hearing from one of our partners for this event. Our next a resource person has worked closely with government agencies, local government units, private sector investors, and communities to help turn development plans into actionable and sustainable outcomes. He is also advancing the concept of an AI-powered development intelligence platform designed to help governments and project proponents identify risks, improve decision-making, and enhance project delivery. So to share insights on bridging the planning to implementation gap, the missing link in smart and resilient cities, let us all welcome the President of RPG Consultants OPC, Mr. Rafael Gonzalez. A round of applause, please.
Hello. Good morning sa inyong lahat po. It's 11:46 and I think everyone is having their lunch. Wow. Thank you sa organization. Thank you po for inviting me here. At a very young age, medyo I'm kind of intimidated sa mga ideas na pine-present po ng mga tao dito. No? And it's very helpful. Especially we are advancing the development here in the Philippines. No? But inisip ko, apart from technology, ano pa yung kailangan ng smart cities, no? Of course, if we talk about smart cities, we talk about infrastructure, we talk about moving forward on how are we going to provide better services to the people. And I go back to what the vision of the Naga is one is the social protection, no? I'll give you some facts because I'm a big fan of mass transportation. Okay, as you can see, these are trains. These are some of the major infrastructure projects here in the Philippines. No, you know, of course, the Metro Manila Subway Project, very transformative yan sa Manila because we don't have that yet. So it will run from Valenzuela to NAIA Terminal 3. So if you don't know about it, yeah, Metro Manila Subway Project will run from Valenzuela to NAIA Terminal 3 with interconnectability to Clark and Laguna. So imagine, technology is giving us this kind of access to different places. And it will spur development sa Mega Manila. Now, we also have the MRT-7, that's Ortigas, that's Bulacan Rail to Quezon City. And we have the Cebu-Cordova Link Expressway. We have the South Long Haul Project. The government is currently doing the South Long Haul Project. This is from Manila to Matnog, Sorsogon. Imagine, 100 plus kilometers of railway to Matnog, Sorsogon from Manila. And we also have the NSCRX project. This is from Clark Airport to Calamba, Laguna. No? These are some just of the transformative projects in the Philippines. But what can you observe dun sa presentation? This is AI generated para maganda lang. Hindi ako maaram gumawa ng presentation po. Ano? But what can you observe? It took years of planning. And yet, wala pa sila. Di ba? Hindi pa natin sila nakikita. Hindi pa natin sila nasasakyan. The government saying that the NSCRX can carry 2,212 passengers from Clark to Laguna in one train set. Imagine. So that's almost 800,000 passengers per day. So imagine that pag nabuo yan. And these are powered by technology. Of course, there will be AI kasi may operations and control center yan, yung headway ng tren. Nag-depend sa kung gaano kabilis yung nasa unahan niya. Pag nag-blackout sa Clark, the Laguna line and the subway line will still be operational. And the power delivered to the train depends on the weight of the train. So it's powered by technology. But where are they? Yun yung tanong no? Nasaan sila? Now, to give you an overview, a suburban railway can carry 90,000 passengers per day. So we don't have that. We don't have that yet. What we have is the cars, which can carry 1,000 passengers per day. And it has been mentioned many times before na sobrang car-centric ng Philippines. And I agree. Our car sales translates to thousands of cars per year because it's convenient for us. But no one thought about mass transportation, di ba? But nasan sila? Yung tanong. So currently, we are at 146th rank. So nasa 146 tayo out of 279 cities all over the world na merong station per kilometer ng urban population. That's low. That's super low. we started the railway line in 1892. We once had the longest railway line in Southeast Asia, or in Asia. That's the PNR, 2,000 plus kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. But now, lo and behold, we are at 61.9 kilometers of railway line. Nawala na yung PNR because of war. I think because of war. So, ang PNR line, meron niyang La Union line, may Tarlac line, meron niyang Nueva Ecija line, may Batangas line. All are gone. What we have now is LRT, MRT. We all have that. The PNR from Manila to Laguna nawala na. PNR Naga, Laguna to, Calamba to Lucena. We have the Naga to Sipocot and I think Naga to Legazpi line. Still ongoing. But still, we are far behind. So, ang tanong, bakit? Where are we? Another fact, look at this. For being a car-centric, sobrang car-centric natin eh. Pag may maganda tayong kotse, we feel like we're very validated. It's not a problem. I mean, it's your preference naman. But traffic congestion accounts to 1.2 trillion pesos of annual direct economic loss. Imagine. So nagkakaproblema na nga tayo sa economy, nakakadagdag pa yung simple traffic. So this 1.2 trillion can translate to 500,000 classrooms. Imagine, 2,500 provincial hospitals. So sa mga LGU natin dyan, imagine. And it can irrigate 4.2 million hectares of irrigable land. So imagine, simple traffic, nagti-TikTok tayo, nagpa-Facebook tayo sa traffic, but eto na yung loss na nangyayari sa atin. On a personal perspective, no, kapag natatraffic po kayo sa Maynila, you're losing 5 days and 6 hours of your year. Stuck in traffic. So to translate it, it's 126 days or nights of dinners with your family members. Interesting, no? 15 complete nights sleep. So, amazing, no? Napupuyat tayo, pero nadadagdagan yung puyat natin dahil sa traffic. And 3,650 loss of annual income for minimum wage earner. Grabe, no? Nawawalan pa sila ng kita dahil lang sa traffic for us being car-centric. Pero bakit? So, yun yung tanong, bakit? And kung nakapunta po kayo ng Thailand, you might be wondering, bakit ang mura ng pad thai? Bakit ang mura ng pagkain sa Thailand? Because